Welcome to the Saturday Sports Line. Since 1969, the premier sports show about local high school sports, featuring coaches, players, and special guests. Now, here is your host of the Saturday Sports Line, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
And that will be the end of the ball game. The North Judson-San Blue Jays will beat both teams in Stark County. They'll see the Redskins again this year, but they win tonight in the Bobcat Den, 52-37. The Jays pick up a much-needed win. And we welcome you to the Saturday Sports Line, the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, wherever you are. Good morning. This is your wake-up call, Chris McGowan.
Hey, good morning. Sporting the old Rushville Lions jersey.
You like it? I still fit into it.
Number 43.
4-3, baby.
I wouldn't even try to fit into mine. I was a buck 05 soaking wet.
You were a skinny guy.
Yeah, I was
a big kid. I was the same height I've been since 6th grade. Can you believe that?
You were that tall in 6th grade?
Yes, I was.
You were a behemoth.
I was huge. Hey, and then I got heavy.
Throw the ball to Mitch and let him score.
Well, that wasn't the case. I was on a stacked team. That was the sad part. We had 8 seniors on our team. So,
dude, if you were that tall in 6th grade, you had to be 3 feet taller than everybody else.
We had a tall group of guys.
Okay.
We had a tall group of guys. But anyway.
You needed to take advantage of that height.
I know. Well.
No, you're like today's youth. You just wanted to stand around that 3-point arc.
No.
And just chuck threes all the time.
I was down on the post.
I'm open.
Now, here's the problem. I'd be down on the post. And then if it wasn't on my side of the court or so, and then they'd bring it over to the side, I'd slip out to the corner. But but I did stay on the post.
Yeah.
I have some post moves. I'd like to take on some of these kids today. I don't think they could handle some post moves these days. They don't like being down there to post.
Well, we may have to make that happen.
Well, I'll have to lose some weight first, get back in shape. I can't keep up with them. They're running around.
I've given up on that, so.
Well, we've got a jam-packed show today, Chris. We're going to talk with Julio Cisneros.
Last show of the year.
Last show of the year. We're going to take the next 2 weeks off to coincide with our school's Christmas break. So our next Saturday Sports Line will be January 10th. We're going to talk with Julio Cisneros of the wrestling team here in Knox. Momentarily, we'll then talk with head coach of the North Judson-San Lady Blue Jays, Whitney Combs. We'll talk Knox Redskin boys basketball with head coach Jason Breden. Then at the bottom of this hour, we'll talk Oregon Davis boys basketball with head coach Larry Sennert. Then in the next hour, we'll have our Athlete of the Week interview with West Central boys basketball player Brady Bishop. Then we will have a very important interview, and I want everyone to stick around for this one. It is a Myles McLaughlin interview. He's Mr. Football. So, we had to get that interview. It's very important. We talk with Myles McLaughlin about this, but then more news came out yesterday. Of course, I interviewed him before the news came out yesterday, but the news did come out yesterday that he is on the All-American first team, so that is quite an honor. The list just goes on and on. We'll go over all his stats in that interview, so I invite you to stick around for that interview in the second hour. It's very interesting.
Yeah, going down to Murray State. I actually have a cousin who's an athletic trainer down at Murray State, so yeah.
Very cool.
The Stark County connection.
It'll be very cool, and he's going to be wearing blue and
yellow.
Gold,
yeah, blue and gold.
So very interesting. Very interesting there.
Navy and gold.
Navy and gold.
Sorry.
As Coach Cisneros says.
Navy.
My bad.
And then after him, we will talk with the head coach of the Winamac Lady Warriors, Tony Stesiak, before the Where They Now segment with Harold Welter. And then we will announce our new Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week to wrap up our last show of the 2025 year. It's kind of been going fast, but let's go ahead and bring him in and talk Knox Wrestling with head coach Julio Cisneros. It's good to see you, Coach. How you been since we saw you in the football season?
Tired.
I guarantee it, because it was the next morning. I'm pretty sure Coach Radke said you were off and running the next morning after that tough loss to Lures.
Yeah, you had texted me to make sure that Russ was going to make it on time for the morning show, and I was like, I'm at a wrestling meet. I'm at West Noble already.
And I was like, what the heck? What is he doing? He's just always doing something.
It's I was talking about this with the kids and the teachers up at the school as we were going on break and this and that. They were asking what I was going to do, and I'm like, well, I said, well, I'm happy. I said, because this is the first Saturday since July that I've had off.
Today.
Yes.
So I hit you up at the right weekend.
Yes, you did. You
made him get up early. That was one day off.
Makes me look like a
way to go, Mitch.
Yeah, sorry, Coach. I'm trying to keep you in shape.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, I got to sleep in till 7.
Yeah.
Just think about that. I got to sleep in till 7.
That is crazy.
That's nuts. I mean,
I understand where you're coming from, though, because everybody, man, you sleep a lot. Well, yeah, for the 25 years I've been coaching, I'm making up for it.
Yeah, literally. Well, I know you got a lot of wrestlers, girl wrestlers, female wrestlers, I should say, and then also guy wrestlers. So I wanted to give the time to talk about this season. I know you've been doing well the last few years, getting people down to state, especially in girls wrestling. So it's been a good few years here at Knox Wrestling.
Yes, it has. With IHSA sanctioning the girls tournament last year, we had Katie Snyder qualify for state in the inaugural season. She had qualified the year before when the IHSA had it as an emerging sport. So now she's coming back her senior year. We're looking to get her to state again for the 3rd time.
Good.
She'll be the first person in Knox to get there 3 times. She's tied 2 other people making it twice. Danny Bradley, my fault.
Yeah, Danny.
And, what's his name? There's another kid. He's down in Jeffersonville now. Oh, he's a little guy. I can't even think of his name.
Yeah. Well, if it comes to it.
We'll come back to it.
But it's been a while. I mean, that was since 1990. Then we also got a couple other girls that have a good shot. Right now, Katie's the only one that's ranked in the state. Mm-hmm. They have her ranked 12th in the state at 140 pounds.
That's awesome.
I have another girl, Alyssa Mans, at 110. She dropped down from 120 last year to 110 this year. She is 20-5 on the year. Her 5 losses are to 4 girls, and those 4 girls are ranked in the top 10 of the state. So she doesn't lose to anybody other than unless they're ranked. Now, I think that's one. I think she's that unseen gem right now. She's only a sophomore. She does a lot of time in the off season working out, getting ready for wrestling. She's also a softball player, so she knows how to work, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. She's very intelligent. She's ranked high in her class academically. But she has that little drive that you want to see in athletes that want to get better.
Sure.
And she's one of them. I got a couple of other girls. I'll go right through the lineup. Now, I don't want to make this sound like, we went out and did this on purpose, but we actually have 4 guys that came in through the portal.
Okay, so
when you make it sound like that, when you say the portal,
like these private schools now, Coach.
Yeah, I know.
Recruiting?
I mean, I'm not recruiting. They're just coming here. I don't know if that's because we're doing good or because they took advantage of the system or what the deal. But I got a lot. I mean, I got
through the portal.
I mean, we start off at 110 with Alyssa Mans, and then we go to 115 with Contessa Wireman, who came from West Central. Then we go to 120 with Karma Rowe.
Which is a great program.
Yes, they're very good. We actually just beat them the other day.
I saw that on social media.
And then we go to 120 with Karma Rowe, her sister, another West Central girl. Then we go to 125 with Abby Snyder, Katie's little sister. These girls they're all underclassmen. Contessa's a junior, Karma's a freshman. Abby's a sophomore. We go to 125 with Georgia Hendricks. She's, I believe, a freshman. We go to 135, we go to Delia Ferris, a North Judson girl. Jeez. So she came over. And she's a sophomore. And then, of course, we go to 140. We got Katie Snyder, our one senior. 145, we have Riley Winzak, a sophomore. And 155, we have Kendall Reisner, a junior. So, I mean, senior night's going to be real fast. I mean, one person. Here you go.
Yeah.
Now, we had one other girl that wrestled, but she got some bruised ribs at the last tournament, and she's been out. Her name's Josie. Can't think of her last name right now. But
sure.
It's Josie, and she was wrestling 120, 125, 130, wherever we needed it. I kind of feel bad for her, getting those bruised ribs at the last tournament that we had. She was actually doing pretty well, but, now she's out for sectionals, and, we have sectionals going on in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, our season's real quick.
The girls always has the postseason first.
Yes, we actually start our sectionals at Hobart January 2nd. So we're still on break.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah, so you're
going to have to handle that.
Yeah. It's a tough one because it gets them out of the routine. Gets them here and there out of the routine, and they're over break, so they want to celebrate. Their minds are not always on there. But I think we do a good job of keeping the girls focused during that week. I already told them, we got a couple of girls that beat up, a couple of girls that are sick. So I gave them the next couple of days off. It's Christmas coming up. They're still kids. And I gave them 3 days off to recover, heal, stuff like that, get everything situated. But we'll bring them in next Friday after Christmas and, check their weights, make sure everybody's where they're at. And then that following week, the week of New Year's, which is sectional week, we'll go right back at it, and then make sure everybody's ready to go and this and that. Unlike the guys' season, our postseason's 3 weeks. We go sectionals, regional, state.
Right.
So,
is there a weight allowance in female wrestling?
They got 2 pounds December 1st.
Okay.
The guys don't get theirs until January.
Right.
January 1st. So there's been discussion on that. We kind of wish they would have got it at Thanksgiving because we have a real tough tournament right after Thanksgiving that next day, and the girls were griping, as girls always do, but that they couldn't eat.
You said that, not me.
I had 4 of them yelling at me because they couldn't eat. They were all upset, this and that. I'm like, just go up a weight class then. That's what I used to tell the guys. Just go up a weight class and eat Thanksgiving.
That way you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I used to tell when I was coaching football, I'd move a kid to the offensive line. Hey, look at it this way. You get to eat whatever you want.
So, yeah. But, I mean, it's the last 2 years doing the girls, strictly just doing girls, I've had fun. It's a different side of wrestling. Wrestling's wrestling. The moves and the techniques are still the same, but it's the mental aspect, the practices, the comments that you hear are completely different from a girl than it is from a guy. And some of them are funny. Some of them are a little embarrassing. Girls, they go through their menstrual system and stuff like that. And, 1 week, one girl might weigh 135 and next week she's weighing 130. And you're like, how the heck? Okay, never mind. I don't want to know.
Right.
It's one of those to where guys, you don't see that fluctuation.
Right.
And sometimes it messes with the girls on their weight certification. And I think that's something as a coaches association, as a state, we have to look at that because that's just a natural thing that happens with girls.
Right. It's not like they're dropping weight on purpose.
Yeah. I had a problem with that with one of my wrestlers. We go to a tournament and she's weighing 3 pounds less than what she normally does. Okay. And, but she was sick. So, when you're sick, you don't eat and you drop that weight and it's like that. And then all of a sudden it's like, because when you have a weight management plan into sectionals, you have to have 6 qualifying weights, which means you're not losing weight too fast and, you're following a healthy thing. Well, she dropped below what her minimum was and it flashed red on the screen. Well, that doesn't count as a qualifying weight. It has to be green. Well, because she literally weighed 0.6 of a pound less than what she should have.
0.6.
Yeah. But, when you're going to a tournament, you don't know that. Right. If I did, I would have told her just drink a bottle of water.
Yeah.
To get on there, but so then, luckily we still had.
You carry a scale.
We usually do that. I do that with the guys. With the girls, it's kind of like because they're so
all over the place.
Well, most of the girls are 2 pounds under what they're allowed to be.
Sure.
And now with the 2 pound allowance, some of them are actually dropping down a weight class.
Wow.
Just because it's just natural progression of their body and stuff. Some of these girls, they do stuff, but some of them don't. It's like the guys, same thing. We're getting our football players now are getting into wrestling shape. In football, you go hard for 5 seconds, then you rest for a minute.
Right.
In wrestling, it's complete opposite. You go hard for a minute and you rest for 5 seconds. So it's the football guys are getting there, but you can see it. You get somebody like Gage Craig, who's probably playing football at about 260. He's at 240 now.
Whoa, 20-pound difference.
Yeah, he's just getting in shape. Braxton Reese, he was probably around 270. He's 260. It's just these guys are just getting into shape. And it shows.
I used to coach wrestling. Just the discipline that it takes, the self-discipline to, like you said, over Thanksgiving break or the holidays, Christmas, just to not, hey, don't have that second plate.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's something I don't have. I can't push myself away from the table.
And I told the girls, I said, hey, you're not the only one. I didn't eat either. And they just kind of look at me like, yeah, but you don't have to make weight. Well, yeah, that's true, but I still didn't eat.
Right.
But, going back to the season here, the girls are winding down. We're done with the regular season. This is the second year in a row we've gone undefeated in dual meets. We were 4-0 last year. We were 4-0 again this year. So, I kind of hang that a little, I've had 4 undefeated regular seasons since I've been at Knox, 2 in football, 2 in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, I kind of pat myself on the back.
That's huge.
I'm proud of that because the girls work hard. The guys work hard. They know, I think a little bit with me coming off of football onto wrestling, they know that I want to win and I want them to win. Yeah, well, at least I hope they look at it that way and they don't, but also too, like, we were talking to other coaches and when the start of our season, we had to cancel our first meet at Wicklow because we had just won the sectionals and I couldn't make it. Okay, we had to get ready for regionals, this and that. Well, the next week we won regionals. Well, we had the tournament at Penn, the Sarah Hildebrand, which is like the second largest tournament for the girls in the state. And it was like, well, I can't drop that one. The girls have to go to that one, okay? So luckily I had my 2 assistants and Ronnie Winzak, the head boys coach, who's, for the last 2 years has been covering me for the first half of the season, both seasons. And, I'm greatly appreciative of that. It lets me do the football while he can still do that. And then the next week, after the loss of semi-state, it was like, well, I guess I'm going to West Noble, like you talked to Russ about it. Yeah, I slept in the locker room. It's like I'm not going to go. Yeah, I'm not going to go back to the farm, go to sleep, have to get up, and then come back. I'm like, I'm just going to sleep right in here, get up, get on the bus, and go. And that was rough. But we've been going every Saturday. And then we had meets during the week with 2 of them with the boys, 2 of them without the boys. We actually did something this year. The state allowed us to team up with our conference members. So it was us, LaVille, and John Glenn wrestled KV. So we just made up a lineup between the 3 schools. I put 4 girls in. No, I put 5 girls in. Somebody else put 5 and another team put 4. I can't remember who did exactly what. But we did that. We wrestled KV and we beat them. Because KV came in with 20 girls. I have 10.
Sure.
So, but that was
That's
a
lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. But John Glenn had 6 and LaVille had 5. So we were able to pull together a team because the state allowed us and wrestled them in a weekday duel. And I thought it was at John Glenn, so it was kind of exciting for the girls.
Sure.
Because it was.
That's kind of cool. I mean, you'd seen the conference come together like that. Your rivals. Other than that, but that night, hey, we're all on the same team here.
Yeah, and it was fun because the girls were cheering for each other. Because somebody like LaVille, they got some of the smaller girls, some of the bigger girls. I don't have any big girls after 155. John Glenn has got some of the bigger girls too, and they have a couple of girls. They have 2 real good girls. I mean, they have the one girl at 115. She's tough. She's only a junior. She was state placer last year. She's real good. I talked to her a little bit over at the Columbia City meet, which is that day we had that big snowstorm. Mm-hmm. They actually got told to come home Friday night. I had already worked it out with Neil where we were staying there. And I said, look, there's only going to be 3 rounds the next day. We'll be on the road before it starts snowing. I was off by about a half hour. But by the time we got here, it was when it was really starting to come back. But I was like, you know what? We're already in Stark County. We're already in Knox.
We made it.
We made it. But, there was teams like Portage, teams like Crown Point, John Glenn, there was Highland. They got sent back home Friday night before it even snowed. It hadn't even snowed out there, and they were told to come home. So the next day, that tournament went by real quick. But, that's like I said, those 3 teams that I mentioned there's 6 girls in there that are ranked in the top 3.
Right.
So the only ones we had to compete with once we went back was Maryville. Maryville stayed, So, Maryville won the tournament, but, it's like, that's why I said that's like the second hardest tournament.
Sure.
That one is actually the hardest tournament. I take that back. Penn is the second hardest tournament. So, back-to-back weekends, we have those 2 meets, which is just, they're great. It gets our girls in shape. It gets them ready. They kind of get mad at me, and I said, these are the girls you got to beat to get to state.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want to wrestle.
You need it now for when you get there.
Yes. Right. So, their records are impressive. We go to these tournaments, these big tournaments, and we place in the top half team-wise.
Sure.
Last year we had 5, 6 girls. This year we got 9, 10 girls going. So I'm happy with it. I mean, everybody in the lineup has got a varsity spot. They got a spot for sectional, so I can cover all those weight classes. So I feel good going into the tournament.
Well, I don't want to change the subject on purpose. Well, I guess I do, but I did want to give you the time to talk about Myles McLaughlin. I know you've been one of the assistant coaches through his high school career, and with everything that's been going on, I just wanted to hear what you had to say about Myles.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story that I've told all the teachers and the people over at Knox, okay, at the school. And they think I'm crazy when I tell them this. This year, Myles scored 71 touchdowns. Over his career, he had, I believe 142 or something like that, some outrageous number, okay? I would say out of all of those touchdowns, I've probably seen 10 of them. Because I'm the defensive coach.
You're right.
He's looking at
So when the offense is on the field,
he's got his face buried in the iPad.
I'm looking at the tablet. I'm looking at this. I'm coaching to another kid. The only way I know he scores is by the reaction of the crowd. And I literally had some teachers tell me that, no, that can't be possible. I said, yes, it is. I said, it's a shame. I don't get to see that. I don't get to see him on offense like everybody else does. And then one game, we played a game and came back to school the next day, and those teachers said, yeah, you're right. You don't even look at the offense. I said, no. I said, the only time I'll see him score is if the offense gets the ball first.
Right.
So this year, the first 3 games, he scored off the first play. So I got to see those.
Well, not only that, but too, I mean, you probably had to learn real quick that, hey, I need to make my adjustments real fast because there are a lot of times where it was a 1-play drive or a 2-play drive.
Luckily I have 2 or 3 kids that don't play offense. This year I had Brian Korcha, I had Maddox Kidner. Every once in a while I had Isaac Singleton because he played only in certain formations, this and that. But all the other guys were 2-way players.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have at least 1 or 2 guys that I can communicate this and that. Hey, these are the changes we got to make. Go and tell those guys. Because I don't see Myles. I don't see Kane.
Sure.
I don't see Easton Minix. I don't see those guys make those changes on the fly because they're out there playing offense. So, but yeah, watching Myles, seeing just what he did is incredible. Doing all the paperwork for all these awards that he's won. I'm compiling the stats and I'm looking at this, and then I'm looking at the national records.
And you're like,
and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
This is incredible.
People are complaining that he had 50 carries in one game. Well, the national record is 79. Some guy carried the ball 79 times in a game. That's the national record. And people were complaining that, he's carrying the ball 52 times. That's not even.
Well, he was still averaging almost over 11 yards per carry at that time.
Yeah. And it's like,
so it's not like he's just getting 2 and 3 yards.
And then these people are like, oh yeah, he got, I forgot what he got. And then one game he almost get 500 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, these are offensive stats. I don't.
Right. Because you're on defense.
Right. But the national record, I think was ungodly number. It was 729 yards. I think the state record is 600.
Right.
In a game. And these people are complaining about, they're doing this, they're doing that to him. And it's like, he's nowhere near to what the national records are for career, single games, this and that. Now, the touchdown one is kind of cool.
Yeah, the touchdown one's
huge. The touchdown one is huge. The rushing yardage was huge. But that one, just think if he didn't play with Jake.
Yeah, and that's what he says in the interview.
Just think if he wouldn't have played with Jake for 2 years.
Didn't that prepare him? It got him better, and they kind of bounced off each other a little bit.
Yeah, and it was now this year, it was just, everybody says, oh, they run the basic thing. He's the only guy in the backfield, this and that. And it's like, okay, well, stop us.
Yeah.
Stop us.
Yeah.
If it's that easy, stop us.
Yeah. And that's another thing we talk about. They knew he was going to get the ball, and they still couldn't.
Yeah, and you see some of these things, these awards he's gotten. The Gatorade, the Max Prep. I like the Gatorade one because we got money off of that. The school got a grant out of it, so that's
huge.
So Russ goes, make sure we buy the right stuff.
Yeah, Gatorade cups now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They sent us a list of what we could buy. So it's like you just can't go out and buy whatever you want.
You got to get these products.
Right. It's like these are the corporate companies that we're working with, so you have to buy a product off of this list. And I'm like, well, I could spend $3,000.
Quickly.
Yeah. Just ask Jenny Tower, treasurer.
Well, Coach, I always appreciate your time, and I know you're busy all the time, just always pedal to the metal. But it's always an honor to talk to you, and I appreciate getting to know you over the last few years, and good luck the rest of the way for the wrestling team.
Well, I appreciate it. Our boys right now are at LaVille. I might stop up there and watch them. They're in the Superdome up there at LaVille, but I really want to go to Crown Point. Crown Point's got this big tournament this weekend, the Carnahan, and I used to be in it when I was coaching at Andrean and Boone Grove. Mm-hmm. Well, they've kind of moved those teams out. This is a national event. There's 7 nationally ranked teams there. I got 2 kids that I've coached before that are head coaches now that are coaching at this tournament. So I want to go see them. One of them is Alex Sertzis. He's the head coach over at Mount Carmel out of Illinois. He was a 4-timer out of Indiana that I had at Griffith. He graduated 21 years ago. When I think about it, it's like, holy cow, he's been out of school that long? He's that old now? I'm thinking, he's almost 40.
Dude, you have no idea what I know your pain. I'm like, what? You're not that old.
Well,
oh my God.
Here's what I just realized this. How old are you, Mitch? Roughly.
I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
I'm 33.
Okay. Take your age, double it, add it to your age, okay? That's almost how long I've been. No, how did I figure this out? I've been literally coaching 2/3 of my life. I started when I was 18.
Yeah, I was about to say right out of high school.
Yeah, I have 36 years. I'm 54 years old. I have 36 years of coaching.
Coaching longer than I've been alive.
It's like, and I thought about that the other day. I'm like, dang, I'm old. But
you don't feel it.
I started coaching at the age of 19. I'm 49. So
the thing about it is because of
you guys love it.
Me working in a high school. I don't have any kids. So me working in a high school, it seems like my life never changes. I am always dealing with 15 to 19-year-olds. So I keep forgetting that time path. That I'm aging because the kids that I deal with never age.
The same age.
They're the same age.
Matthew McConaughey, aged and confused. The older I get, the kids all stay the same.
Yeah. But literally, we were talking about that yesterday in school. It's hilarious when I start thinking about these kids and I start seeing them. And I start seeing kids that I've coached, their kids are coming through the system. It's like, oh, this is nuts.
Man, Coach, we could go on for 2 hours, Coach.
I could do a whole show.
I know you could. It's good to see you, Coach.
You
I appreciate your time.
All right.
That is head coach of the Knox wrestling team. It is Julio Cisneros here on the Saturday Sports Line. It's always good to catch up with him. Boy, those practices were fun, Coach. Those practices were fun in the fall. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We'll talk North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jay basketball with head coach Whitney Combs after the break.
Takes it in, then back out, hands off to Eli Radke. Radke now picks up his dribble.
Nice back door.
Andrew Chambers for the assist to Eli Radke. 2-2. The Jays tie it up.
It's getting clearer. The past is gone.
One of our hometown businesses here in our area in Monterey, it's LAP Waste.
Being able to recycle is one of our main goals at LAP Waste. Being able to say that we only take about 8% of our trash to the dump is pretty impressive for us, and we hope to keep building on that.
We service an 80-mile circle from Monterey. If you have a small job, big job, or just have a one-time, we are here to make a difference in this area.
And that phone number, Kirby?
574-542-4019.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
Here's more with area high school coaches as we return to the Saturday Sports Line from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Studios on K99.3.
To the far corner, Dirk Huff goes inside. Nice floater. Couldn't get it. Fight for the rebound. He's going to come up with it himself. His putback is good, and he gets the and one.
And we welcome you back to the Saturday Sports Line as we transition to Lady J basketball with head coach Whitney Combs. We saw the Lady Jays on Thursday night at Culver, a big HNAC win, 45-37. Coach, we talked about it in the post game. It kind of put the Hoosier North Athletic Conference on notice. The Lady Jays mean business, would you say?
Yep, I agree with that.
Absolutely. You guys played great. Kaylin Tunis was able to get some shots early on. We saw Avery Johnston. She hit that first three at the beginning of the game, and it just after that, you guys just took it and ran with it. Talk about that game and the excitement that you and the Lady Jays had from it. It had to have been a fun game for you.
Yeah, it was a really big HNAC win against us. For us against a very good Culver team. You know, they've been playing really good basketball lately. We really came in from the tip, ready to battle. Like you said, that three from Avery, right away. I think we got up by 8 to 10 points at the beginning. I really would have liked to see us maintain that throughout the game and put it away from the start. We kind of let off there a little bit, but that's a very well-coached team, and they have improved so much in the recent years. So the last few games with them have been really close. So that was a great test for us against a HNAC opponent and a possible sectional opponent.
Yeah,
all of our girls came in ready to battle, especially after our last HNAC loss against Caston. We came in and we took care of business.
Yeah, I know. And in Culver, they were coming into that game atop the Hoosier North Athletic Conference. So another a feather in your cap to know that you can play with some of the best in this conference. But I want to take us back now. The last time we'd seen you. Yeah, the last time we saw you was against the Knox Lady Redskins. Big win, your cross-county rival, 43-21. But then on December 2nd, I want to start there at Elkhart Christian. This was a huge win for your Lady Jays. Of course, last year we remember that tough loss in the sectional championship game. But you go to Elkhart Christian on the 2nd, and you beat them 45-37. Elkhart Christian's one of those teams everyone's talking about this year, of course, from last year's success. Man, that was a huge win for you and the girls. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Mitch, we traveled to them, like you said, and that's no small trip. It was about an hour-and-a-half drive on a school night for us. Everyone that played that night, they knew their assignments, and they executed them with very few miscues. I'm just so proud of the girls for that game, After last year's loss, we felt we kind of got the raw end of the deal on that one. It truly didn't show who we were against them. So we wanted to get them to play them during the season to prove to our girls that, hey, we can compete with them. So they showed up, and they were ready to play and battle from the beginning, and that was just the difference. We were ready to play no matter what, and I'm so happy for them that they can see what we see in them now.
All right, so let's talk about you're done for this year. Your next game is January 2nd. You take on the Senators of Washington Township, a team that's kind of up and down. They took it on the chin last night. West Central got them pretty good, but then Thursday night, I believe they knocked off, they upset Westville.
Yeah, I saw that.
A very good Westville team. So what do you know about the Lady Senators from Washington Township that you need to prepare for come January 2nd?
Denver's got our film, and he's been doing some heavy scouting for us, and getting a game plan ready for us for when we play them. We got a couple days still to get that under wraps, but like you said, I saw the scores from last night. I saw you guys shared the highlights from the West Central game, and I think they beat them pretty good, 20 or 30 points.
Yeah.
I'll get that film and then the Westville film, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and
we've never played Westville, so
right.
So this will be a first for us. Our Washington Township. We haven't played Washington Township or Westville, So, that'll be a fun game for us to get to scout. And then I'm excited we got to play them in the tournament because since I've been coaching, they haven't been on our schedule.
After that Elkhart Christian game, you picked up a big conference win at Argus. They're having a tough season, and then at Boone Grove. But the tough loss at Caston, that conference opponent, how's Caston looking this year? I mean, that must have caused some problems that night, or did you just have an off night?
No, Caston's also a really well-coached team. He has those girls playing really well. His daughter, Maddie Douglas, went off for 24 on us. We offensively struggled a little bit. Charlotte DeBoard came in, and she had 23 points for us. But besides that, we kind of lacked our offense game, offensively. And then our defense, we kind of got lost a couple times. So, it sucks. We regrouped. We went back and we watched the last half of film, and I think we learned from it, So losses aren't fun, but you learn good things from them.
Then on the 13th, you traveled to Michigan to take on Red Arrow. This was the highest point mark of the season. You scored 61, only allowed 16 points. Seems like Red Arrow maybe got a taste of Indiana basketball, Coach.
Exactly. That was a fun one for us. We went in and we took care of business then, too, and a lot of my girls got to play. Everyone that went with us, they got some minutes, so that was fun for everyone.
We talked about it in the Collins Insurance post-game show on Thursday night, how you were going to attack Christmas break and practices. But now that we're here on Saturday, just kind of go over that again, how you're going to deal with practices over the holiday break. I know all the coaches have different ways they attack this, but how are you going about it? Because, January 2nd, it's right around the corner, and while Christmas is here, I'm sure you don't want the girls to get lazy here.
Yeah, so we gave them off yesterday and actually today to get some rest. Some of our girls have been battling some sickness, and, we've heard it's been going around. So since we have a break here, we let them have a few days off. Basketball is really tough for kids and parents because the holidays are right in the middle of the season, so it's tricky to navigate because you want your kids home for the holidays.
Yeah.
But yet, as coaches, you want them in the gym preparing.
Yes.
So we do our best to make it work. So they'll be off until Monday. We'll come in and we'll hit it hard on Monday and Tuesday. We actually picked up a JV game for our JV girls. We're traveling to LaPorte on Monday evening. So we'll have practice that morning, JV game Monday night. And then Tuesday we'll have practice. And then we'll give them off, obviously, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we'll get back to work. We'll prepare for Washington Township and then New Prairie or Plymouth, We'd like to see ourselves win that tournament. That would be huge for us. Hopefully give us some momentum. We need to finish out our HNAC run.
Yeah, Coach, the 2nd, Washington Township, and then the 8th, KV, Kankakee Valley. So you've got some teams to prepare for here, Coach. I wish you luck here in the Christmas break, but more importantly, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thank you, Mitch. You guys as well.
All right, Coach, you enjoy your Christmas break. We'll talk in the new year.
Thank you.
All right, that is head coach of the North Judson-San Lady Blue Jays. It is Whitney Combs here on the Saturday Sports Line. The Lady Jays playing good ball, folks. Blue Jay Nation, keep going out and supporting them. We're going to take a break and come back. We'll come back to this side of the county and talk Knox Redskin boys basketball with head coach Jason Breden up next.
I'll be on the way, you can meet me in the
From up top to Xander Nowak, swings it over. Dirk Huff read the passing lane. Now he's going to take it. One-on-one, right-hand layup. Christensen lets him go, doesn't want to foul, and now it's 7-2, the Bobcats lead here. Xander Nowak makes the move up and under. He used the rim for protection, and Jason Blackburn had no chance, Chris. Oh, nice steal by Brady Denford on Christian Ingram, and he lays it in. 11-6. The Bobcats are fighting here tonight with some passion.
There's a trend happening around the educational world. More and more high school graduates are attending smaller community colleges to start their educational journey. At Marian University's Ancilla College, we welcome students from all walks of life. The opportunities at Marian University are endless, from living on campus to being a collegiate student-athlete. From day one, your professors will help you create a plan for a success at Marian and beyond. Find out more about Marian University's Ancilla College through our website at marian.edu/Ancilla today.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, ag banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Let's continue the conversation with area high school coaches and more on the Saturday Sports Line.
And we're back to transition and talk Knox Redskin boys basketball with head coach Jason Breden. I've got him on the line here on the Saturday Sports Line. Coach, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mitch. Thanks for having me.
No, of course. We've talked before, obviously, that tough loss at Winamac, but you turned around and beat Argus. Of course, that's a big win for you. I know that you have a little history there at Argus, Coach.
Yeah, Argus is still a special place in my heart. That's where I began my head coaching career. Spent 3 great years there. Still have some good lifelong relationships from there. But at the end of the day, of course, it still always feels good to get a win against your old school. So the biggest thing I was proud of was just to see our guys go out and perform to the level that we think we're capable of.
Yeah, we talked about it in the post-game show at Winamac after that tough loss. And like you had mentioned, it's not an excuse, but when you come into the season and you don't really have as many practices as maybe other teams do, that can cause maybe some headaches for the coaching staff. But trying to get back into the swing of things, getting guys that, of course, were on the football team back into basketball shape, that's tough in its own, Coach.
Yeah, I just give a lot of credit to our guys. They've just worked their tails off. Every day in practice, they come ready to go. They do what we ask them to do. Overall, they're an energetic group. They seem to like one another, and it just makes it a joy to work with them. I think we're finally starting to pick up steam a little bit. We're finally starting to get a lot of those, just various different areas kind of up to speed, whether it's out of bounds underplays, zone offenses, various defensive coverages. So I think after about another 1 or 2 weeks, right after Christmas break, just with a little bit more time, I'm really excited to see kind of where things just overall really start to click as an entire team.
Your first game was on December 5th. We were there in the nest at North Judson. That was a tough loss, but you're 1-2 right now. You've only had 3 games in the first 19 days of December. Today will be your 4th game, and you're on the road at Hebron. That's also tough. It's a lot of practices, I know, which I know is good for you and the guys to kind of get gelling and get things rolling. But also, when you get into January here, you're going to be hitting a lot of games back-to-back and here early on, Yeah,
that's, I give a lot of credit to our football guys for coming in right away and working hard. And, I give a lot of credit to those non-football guys because, like you said, there's a lot of long weeks where, they just had to show up every day. Chip away in practice since, our schedule's a little bit backloaded. So, that's where, just talking with our guys, especially over Christmas break and that first week of January, that's going to be a real key segment of time where we can stack some practices together, really just get dialed in a lot of the different schematics of things and just some chemistry things that we're looking to build and improve because, you noted it. Come January and February, we play 2, if not 3 games a week. And, when you play a Tuesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, you're really only talking 1 or 2 practices between games. So at that point, it's a lot of game prep. So, the next 2 or 3 weeks is going to be absolutely crucial just to make sure we teach them to implement as much as we can in practice.
7 Central tip tonight at Hebron. What are you preparing for?
Hebron's got an excellent program going. Mike Breden is a Hebron graduate. He's been there for 8 years now. They built the program, and, he's been there long enough to where they almost are reloading every year now rather than rebuilding. And what I mean by reloading is it's not even necessarily to do with the pure talent. It's just, when a coach has been in a place for 8 years, there's various players that have gone through it for 3 or 4 years now. They know stuff like the back of their hand, and, they're able to get the young newcomers up to speed much more rapidly. My guys have done a great job of learning the stuff, but, even in year 2, they're still, new things that we're still implementing and teaching. And truthfully, it's not till probably the end of year 3 in a program when you really kind of feel like, okay, we've got, a good majority of our stuff truly put in like the back of our hands. So Hebron's just a very, very solid team. They've got 2 seniors that are both scoring over 20 points a game. They both have great size. Winsima and Saki, they're both about 6'3", 6'4". They're strong.
Big boys.
They do start some underclassmen, 2 sophomores and a freshman. And again, they just play their roles extremely well. There's a few of them that really hit the boards hard, set solid screens, and make a lot of good passing. And again, they're just a very nice team because they have so many different guys that do their roles so well that kind of makes the whole unit tough to stop.
Yeah, they come in today 3-3, so they've played 6 total games to your 3. But they're coming off a tough loss last night at Morgan Township. That's a conference opponent, 64-54. So I assume they'll come in a little hungrier tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely 2 ways to view that, right? I mean, we didn't play last night the night before they did. But, one viewpoint is, they made all their effort and focus on that conference rival in terms of Morgan Township. And, maybe or maybe not, they might not be the most fired up to play us tonight. Or the second viewpoint is, like you said, they got beat last night. So maybe, if they're kind of that group that doesn't like losing, they might come out with a little bit of extra fire and passion, especially on their home floor.
I know your mind's on Hebron right now, but we will see you this coming Tuesday as you host the Culver Cavaliers in a girls and boys doubleheader, the boys game. We saw Culver the other night. It was a tough loss against Winamac. Of course, you saw Winamac. They're a good team this year. And then Culver had a tough loss last night hosting North Miami. Culver's having some tough times right now, but we know head coach Kyle Evans, and he prepares well, and it's going to be a scrappy defensive battle. We know that whenever you go up against Culver. And when you go up against Culver, you know that that's going to be a game that they're going to want because it's right down the road. They have a history of playing Knox, and they have to come to Harold Weinberg Gymnasium. So that's a nice added bonus for you guys. So while I know you're preparing for Hebron right now, talk a little bit about Culver and on Tuesday night.
Culver plays the most unique style of basketball that we will see year-round in terms of their defensive set. He's kind of perfected his zone trapping defense where, every time the ball comes down the floor, they're going to have 2 guys looking to jump and kind of pressure our point guard to force some turnovers. So the key thing is, the ball's got to, zip to the right spots, and we just got to have guys be strong with the ball and make reads. The game that they're really looking for is they want kind of speed you up on offense and just kind of get you to make turnovers and mistakes or take some shots that maybe you usually wouldn't take. So there's always a chance of, the game getting physical in terms of that defensive style. So we're going to have to come ready to go in terms of being mentally tough, ready to get the ball to the right spot and execute our style rather than kind of getting sped up and playing their style.
Yeah, that'll be the last game this coming Tuesday of the year before January 3rd. You're hosting Boone Grove in the new year. So how are you attacking practices through the holiday break? I'm sure you don't want them just sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah, so, I always like to give them 2 or 3 days off around Christmas. I think that's a special time for them to spend some time with their family, and a little bit of rest time doesn't hurt. But, that Christmas of about New Year's week, about like December 29th going onward, we're going to look to get them in the gym and kind of hit some things hard, we just want to get up and have some competitions and compete in practice, keep building that natural IQ just through competing with one another and playing hard. And then also, we're just going to try to tidy up, a lot of those little things, get our half-court set plays dialed in, get our out-of-bounds underplays dialed in to where, down the stretch of January and February, we're in the best position we can to hopefully get some wins.
You going through walkthrough practice this morning?
No, we had 2 great days to prep Thursday, Friday, so the boys are hopefully resting this morning right now, and then we'll bring them in just before the bus leaves for some shooting if they want, and we'll hit the road to Hebron.
Message to Redskin Nation in hopes they come out and support your boys tonight.
Redskin Nation's very supportive. If they can make the trip and make some noise, that is always helpful.
Coach, it's always great to talk with you. I appreciate your time this morning. We'll keep in touch. And, hey, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Hey, likewise, Mitch. We appreciate everything you do for us.
Hey, I appreciate it, Coach. You take care. All right, that is head coach of the Knox Redskins, Jason Breden, here on the Saturday Sports Line. Redskin Nation, they need you tonight at Hebron on the road, 7 Central tip. You better be there. We're going to take a break and come back. We're going to talk Oregon-Davis basketball. We're going to the north side of Stark County with head coach of the boys team, Larry Sennert, up next.
Screaming out our name, it's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over.
Jays have it inside, too. Nowak fakes once, gets Blackburn in the air, and one opportunity for Mr. Nowak.
Now we're breaking down the enemy, move over. The soldiers take a swing.
Breden Mortuary in Winamac is family-owned and operated with 3 locations serving Pulaski County and the surrounding communities. Breden Mortuary has provided our community with caring and compassionate service for loved ones. Our licensed staff is available to assist you with pre-need funeral planning and at-need funeral planning. We provide traditional burial and cremation services. We offer a full line of headstones and monuments at Breden Mortuary in Winamac. It's our family serving your family.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Listen for more insight in local high school sports on the Saturday Sports Line. Here's your sports director, Mitch Columbi.
Back from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, we are talking Oregon-Davis boys basketball with head coach. It is Larry Sennert. Coach, good morning. I know last night didn't go your way, but let's talk about that first quarter. The Bobcats were playing with passion, getting out early. Brady Danford was causing some havoc. I mean, Chris and I were talking. You guys jumped on the Jays early.
Yeah, we were ready to play when the game started last night. You know, it's we've had a lot of good first quarters in our this season so far, even last year. But you know, teams figure out what we're trying to do, maybe, and what we shouldn't be doing. You know, and so they kind of expose us in a couple spots. We get a little winded, even though we try to condition a lot. And then you know, our second quarter, we only scored 2 points in the second quarter last night. That was a tough quarter. So you know, we were still in the game, still playing hard, doing good things. But, you know, little, as I tell them, and I think I said last night, little things become big things in high school basketball. And those little things, you know, as I was telling Chris, you can't get one stop and then give them 4 points and then get another stop and let them go another 4 points. It don't work.
Yeah, just, you know, like I said, the effort to start the game, it just seems like, you know, you guys hit that wall. And we talked about it off air here. It seems like once that first bad thing happens, the mental aspect of it, the mental toughness kind of goes away, and you guys can't get over that and seem to break that cycle.
No, and we've got to be more disciplined. You know, we've improved. We've done a lot of good things, you know, as far as our rebounding and our turnovers. And those are huge keys for us, especially last night playing North Judson. You know, they were going to control the glass. We knew that. Rebounding was a huge focal point for us, and turnovers. But, you know, last night we were getting after it and doing good things. But the minute one bad possession, we let that affect our next 2 possessions or 3, and then we kind of got to regroup.
Yeah, you know, you know, as a basketball coach, you know that there are going to be nights where, hey, we are not going to be able to control the glass. However, the goal is we can't get out rebounded by double digits.
Right.
And you as a coach, I mean, and that's a goal. Hey, we know that we're not going to win the rebounding battle, but again, we cannot get beat by 10 or more boards.
No, in the first 2 quarters, we were winning the rebound battle. Yep. You know, we were doing everything we needed to do to compete and everything we needed to do to win the game. But, you know, then we got a little tired. I guess you can use that for an excuse, and we quit boxing out or quit making sure that we had our man pinned. And you know, like I say, to repeat myself, that possession became so important. And then, you know, we've got to be more disciplined on offense. We've worked on things, but sometimes we think it's point A to point B. We never look at C and D. Yeah. So as a result, you know, teams that are playing us know that, they overplay that, you know.
Yeah, you guys were actually causing a lot of turnovers. I think North Judson, Coach Shepard said it in the post game, they had 15 turnovers in the first half. I mean, there was a segment there. It was 17-14. It's a 3-point game, and you guys had scored maybe 2 points there in the second quarter.
Right.
And there's 2.5 minutes left to go, and then it was like you said, it was like 3 or 4 possessions in a row. In the blink of an eye, it goes from 3 points to 10 points.
Yeah, the third quarter,
and that never you guys weren't able to bounce back from that.
No, it took the wind out of our sail. The third quarter was focal point coming out. We knew we'd be ready to play. We knew they were going to come after us. They wanted to keep the momentum in the game and do what they had been doing in the end of the second quarter. So we really wanted to come out and get a stop. Well, we come out and I think we got a stop to start it. But immediately we turned the ball over. They scored a basket, came down, and I think we turned it over again. There was 3 straight possessions. We turned the ball over. So there were 6 points, could have been 9 points. I don't remember what they hit, and it really deflated us. And then we started hanging our head a little bit, something we really worked hard on, and we did get our composure back, and we did start playing better. But as I mentioned, in high school basketball, momentum is so huge.
So, Coach, when we talked about it last night in the post-game show. Chris and I had actually mentioned it as well. Your assistant coach Doolin, I mean, he's got energy, and I mean he brings a sense of urgency to the players,
Yep.
and I think he does a good job.
He did a tremendous job. I couldn't do it without him. He's tremendous. I mean, he should be coaching somewhere. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, he's got it. He's got it going. He gets after it. Everything's
Love his
prepared.
passion.
Oh yeah. I mean, he really wants to win, and it's a struggle. Coach Julian's has won at a lot of things that he's done in the past, whether it was playing the sport, and he played several sports, or coaching. I mean, he is a huge plus for us.
Also last night, we talked about it in the pregame, switching up the lineup a little bit, seeing how things go. And I thought Brady Danford at the point did a really good job when it's starting out of the game. He really set the tempo.
Well, we looked at we've got to get Dirk. Everyone, they focus on Dirk. That's their point. They can stop him from scoring or maybe pressure him into maybe over dribbling and turn the ball over. So we thought last week, Brady's not a point guard, okay? Brady can play any position on the floor, as you guys have seen him.
Yes.
And he will play any position on the floor.
Literally.
He's so coachable. He'll do whatever, he will run through a brick wall if you have set up there and tell him to do it. Now, I got to slow down his aggressiveness just a little bit because that kind of hurt us in the third quarter too, with him having 4 fouls. But we thought we'd try that and see how it'd work out. And I thought, we did that a little bit in the New Prairie game, and we competed in the New Prairie game really well. Same type setup to a T. First quarter's really good basketball for us. Second quarter gets a little bit less, but we're still in the game. It's a 2-point game at halftime, and we're competing, and they're big, and they're doing a lot of good things too. So.
You've got a little bit of a break here, and like we talked last night, the first game to start the year is not really an exciting one. It's the Winamac Warriors. They are playing really good basketball, but an opportunity for you and the guys to go up against a team that's atop the Hoosier North Athletic Conference and see how you go up against them. You got a little bit of a break here to prepare for them as well.
Yeah, they're probably. I think they got beat last night, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Which shocked me.
It shocked me as well.
I thought they would do a good job with Triton, and it did. It shocked
54 me. 54-32.
Yeah, I saw that. Maybe they had an off night shooting. I don't know. I don't know if Melko was back or not last night. If he played,
he played in Culver this past Tuesday, so
okay.
he's been getting back in there, seeing how that ankle feels. Yeah. But I don't know about last night.
Was the game at Winamac?
It was at Winamac.
That's even shocking. I mean, if it was at Triton, I could see it because that's like playing in the. Well, never mind.
Oh, yeah. Well, I forgot about that. That was a couple of years ago.
Trojan Trench, yeah.
It's something over there. I thought Judson.
Something about bourbon.
I thought there was miracles over at North Judson. I've seen a few over there at Triton, too. So
you've talked about that before, the miracles you've seen in North Judson.
But I tell you what, though, talking about Jason Groves is a kid that I played with in high school, played against. We were on the same AAU team in middle school. You just know that they're going to be defensive minded. They're going to be hard nosed. So, and I'm sure that he's one of those motivators. I'm sure for about a week he's been talking about Winamac,
right?
Preparing for them.
And let's be realistic here, not to take anything away from Coach Groves or Winamac or North Judson. and I'm not trying to defend our program, but you look on our bench, we've got, 10 kids, 12 kids. I look at their bench, they've got like 15 or 30 in their whole program.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
easy when you've got kids you can
When you got
interchange. You know, last night I basically played 5 and 6 kids, and those 6 kids had to play the whole game. I mean, until they got in foul trouble or whatever, they just, but they didn't quit last night. Credit to them. I really thought, and I told them in the locker room after the game, yeah, we lost the game, and it's not a game we're going to lose, but we didn't quit.
Right.
And there's been other games we quit, and they didn't quit last night.
But again, you're playing the Tritons, the Judson, North Judsons, the Winamacs. It's gonna make you better.
Yeah. Oh, they've gotten better.
Yeah, it's gonna make you better. When I was the girls' coach at Tri Township, we had Portage on the schedule for girls basketball.
I remember that. You beat them.
And my AD come to me in the first year we got waxed by like 35. He goes, "Why do we want to have them on the schedule?" And I said, it's pretty simple. I can talk about how I want my program to be and how hard I want my girls to play, or I can show them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
it's a lesson.
It's a lesson. And I'm getting them off the schedule. I said, I don't want them off the schedule.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care. I don't mind getting beat by 40. It's going to make us better.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
And you look at our schedule. I told the boys last night, we start the game or start the season with West Central. I don't think they've lost yet.
Nope.
A very good team. Very good team.
I'm actually going to go watch them tonight.
And then we go the next night. One night later, we play Triton. Very good team. Same thing. They're after it too. And then we played DeMont Christian. I think they've only been beat once. So
right.
We played some really good teams.
Yes.
Really good teams. New Prairie's, a big school, got a lot of kids. So it's we're getting better. It's just
right.
it's a slow process. Maybe not as fast as they want, and maybe not as fast as we want. But like I say, the kids are doing a good job.
But at the same time, though, you talk about maybe not as fast as they want, but the kids are the ones that can control that.
Correct. Yep.
I got more nervous coaching a game than I ever did playing. And my players were like, that's crazy. I said, no, because when I play, I can control what's going on around me.
Yeah.
I can grab the basketball and I can say, hold on a second.
Right.
This is what we're going to do. I can control what's going on around me. As a coach, I have no control. All I can hopefully is I put you in the right position to be successful. And, but as a player, they're the ones that control that. And I guess, sitting here and talking to you before, this interview now, if I could sum it up, right now it's just consistency.
It is. And I'm glad you said that, and because they don't, I probably shouldn't say that, but sometimes the player and the parent don't believe that, but it does come down to what they can do.
Right.
I tell my kids all the time, if we win the game, you won the game. If we lose the game, I lost the game.
Exactly.
And that's the way it's looked at. And I'm not complaining about that. But the point is, it should be if we win the game, we win the game. And if we lose the game, we lost the game, because I can't shoot baskets.
Right.
Well, I couldn't shoot them before, but I can't shoot them now, But
right.
I'm just saying, I can still dribble and I still pass, but, there's things but like I say, with that being said, you're right. It's a process, it's a marathon, we're sprinting, but it's a marathon, and we've got a long way to go, and we're getting there. Like I say, we've improved in rebounding. Our turnovers prior to last night, it wasn't the best night for turnovers. We'd cut our turnovers down by 5 per game, which compared to last year was huge. Because, last year we could have some games 25 turnovers. Well, we played at New Prairie and had 13, 14 turnovers. Against that team, that was a good game. Last night I think we are going to end up with around 18, which most of those came. The first quarter there was a lot of turnovers by us.
Right.
We turned them over. The second quarter there still wasn't a lot, but it's the third quarter that really, really, really got us.
Got big Christmas plans?
Nope.
I know you got to get gifts for some of the young ones in the family.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is.
Well, Coach, good luck over the holiday break and staying focused and preparing for that January 6th game at Winamac. And I also wanted to say I appreciate you and L&D Farms being proud sponsors of local high school sports here on WKVI. That really is a big touch, and I appreciate that for all that you do. And thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate what you guys do for high school sports in the whole area, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever. I mean, I think people maybe take it for granted. I know you've said that, maybe the radio wasn't as big as what it once was, but let's be realistic. Everybody still likes to hear their kid's name called, or talking about their kid, or talking about the young man or young lady that did good things on the floor. And there's a lot more that comes out of what this is talked about by all of us every week and during the week than later in life they're going to look back on it and think about those memories. They might only be memories, but they're good memories. And they also build character.
Oh yeah, sure.
And there's what happens. Everybody thinks you get judged by wins and losses, and they are important. I hear you guys and coaches. But the thing is, it's those little things again that become big things, and they happen later in life. You just don't know it yet.
Well, Merry Christmas, Coach.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
All right, that is head
Happy
coach.
New Year.
Yeah,
And
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Time marches on.
faster than we think.
Faster than we think. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Top of the hour, Athlete of the Week interview with Brady Bishop of West Central is up next. Then we will talk with Myles McLaughlin, as he is Mr. Football here in Indiana. That's after that. And then we'll talk with Tony Stesiak, head coach of the Winamac Lady Warriors. That's coming up next.
Sings Elijah and Dear John, and time marches on.
Picks up his dribble, gets it to Eli Radke. Pops the three! Eli Radke. What a welcome back moment for him it's been this evening. And timeout head coach Larry Sennert, 10-point ball game, 24-14.
Yeah, just like that. It goes from 3 to 10 in a matter of about a minute.
Barely makes a sound.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, ag banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
It's time now for Hour 2 of the Saturday Sports Line with your host, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
We are back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line. It's time to talk about our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, sophomore basketball player from West Central High School, Brady Bishop. Brady broke the school record for most threes made in a game. It was 9 threes he had in a big-time win for the West Central Trojans. He also had a career high of 34 points. Without further ado, here is my sit-down interview with West Central Trojan, Brady Bishop.
Man, Brady, quite an impressive record you broke. 9 3-pointers in a single game. Let's talk about it. I mean, that had to have been a big night for you. Early on, you must have knew, hey, tonight I'm seeing the rim, I'm seeing the goal a little differently. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, so I put a lot of preparation to the game, so it's a lot of reps. And then once I just got in there, everything was feeling good, and so I just continued to shoot. My teammates did a good job making sure that they hit me when I was open, and it just led to me breaking the record.
Yeah, I never shot quite like that, but there is something about muscle memory. When you're not really thinking about it, you just do it naturally. It just comes out of you like that. Talk about the shooting, where the practice, what the time, the effort that you're putting in behind the scenes. Obviously you're getting up a lot of shots where no one's seeing you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just staying after practice every single day and just continuing to work by myself, whether it's a couple hours, whether it's all day, but just shooting on the gun, just getting up as many shots as possible.
Yeah, and I know in the summer you're working out and playing basketball. I'm assuming for AAU as well, and I mean that's a lot of time and effort that you're putting into basketball. And I know you love the sport, but talk about playing this sport year round like that. Has that helped you become the player on the court you are today?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I play some of the best kids in the nation, in the state, all year round. That just really brings my game together and just prepares me for the season.
Yeah, let's talk about this West Central team. You got a lot of guys I know you rely on. Who else do you think we should know about?
Oh, we got Brendan Grindstaff, of course. He's a really good point guard, and he's super shifty. He can get a bucket whenever he needs it. You got Tate, who's been stepping up a lot this year. He's been having a couple big games. He can score when needed. He hits a lot of shots as well. You got Landon, who just is a Dennis Rodman pretty much. He's just a beast. And then, of course, some of our role kids like Tegan and Connor and our entire bench as well. Our bench has stepped up a lot this year, which I think is why we're so successful.
Yeah, let's talk about this coaching staff. We had a chat with Coach Odom a couple of weeks ago, and he told us some of the goals that they have for this team. But let's talk about the staff. What is it about Coach Odom and the rest of the guys that you appreciate?
They're just very committed. If I text them and ask if I come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, they'll be here to open the doors. And it's just they all buy into our end goal, and that's why we're really successful.
Yeah, what is the goal in your mind for this West Central Trojan team this year? I know you got to the sectional championship game last year. Didn't go your way, but man, was that a great game. It went all the way down to the end. What is the goal this year?
Definitely to win sectionals and conference as well, but just making it to that regional game is our goal.
What is a personal goal? Did you have a personal goal you came in? I mean, I don't know if you had the idea you wanted to break the three-point record. I know Coach Odom had said he was in a three-way tie with 8 threes that he had when he was here at West Central. But what was a personal goal that you had coming into the year?
A personal goal is just to be as productive as possible, not necessarily just points, but just be the best player and teammate possible, whether that's get 10 rebounds a night, 10 assists, just whatever I can do to help our team win games.
I know we're on the other end of the county, but there's a team on the other side that's playing pretty good ball right now. They're starting the season 5-0, first time since 1932 for them, and they're juiced up. They're pretty excited, and we remember that game last year. I mean, it was rowdy there in Winamac. This year, it's on your home court. We've got that game on our calendar, and we've been circled it when it's ready to go. We're excited for this one, and I know this is a rivalry battle, and it's at the end of January. You got a lot of games before then, but talk about the rivalry with Winamac. I mean, it's something special between West Central and Winamac, I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely something we look forward to every single year, just that atmosphere, and just it's always a good game no matter what year it is, and they've looked really good recently. And, yeah, it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, let's talk about the rest of the season. When you're going through the holiday break, sometimes, you might not get as many games in, but you're going to have to be there at practice through the holidays. Being one of the leaders on this team, what's something that you're going to be telling the guys to stay focused at through Christmas break here?
I'm just going to tell them to stay focused on the end goal, just to remember what we're working towards, what we've worked towards all summer, and what we're going to continue to work towards, just to stay consistent and make sure you're showing up every single day with full effort.
Yeah, not only did you have 9 3-pointers in a single game, which is the school record, you had 34 points, which is a career high. Is this the type of production that you want to have out onto the court, or does it, in your mind, hey, whatever it takes to win, if I just get 6 points and we win, that's all that matters? What's the mindset that you have?
Well, the points are always nice, of course, but yeah, it's definitely just whatever wins us the game, because at the end it's the team's success, not just mine.
Tell us your parents' names.
Mandy and Michael Bishop.
And talk about the support system they've been for you.
They've been great. They do everything they possibly can for me, whether it's taking me to training 3-4 times a week in Lafayette or take me all across the country for AAU tournaments. They're just my number one fans. They're really good.
Yeah, something else that stands out to me is the confidence in this team. I know I haven't seen you guys yet this year, but that really stood out to me last year. And I know, Bryce Naniga, he graduated and moved on, but it just feels like the energy that he had left and the players before him had left is still here, and you guys are carrying the torch forward. What's it feel like for you now?
I feel like our team is just more together than ever. Like, our bond is really close, which is showing on the court. We have confidence in one another, which is why our confidence is so high as a team. and we can just trust one another to step up when one of us is down, I guess.
Well, we got a chance to talk to you last year as a freshman. Now here we are as a sophomore. You're a two-time Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. I congratulate you for that. But what does it mean to Brady Bishop to be a West Central Trojan?
Being a West Central Trojan is it's a family here. I mean, the support system is really good. The parents and fans continue to show up even when we haven't been good in the past. It's just a family here, and I'm very appreciative.
Well, Brady, I sure do appreciate your time. Congratulations for being named once again one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Well, I appreciate Brady for his time. That's his second time, like I said, becoming a Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. We congratulate him. Also, thank you to Athletic Director Jeff Messer for helping me set that interview up, as we are going to take a break. More sports talk on the way. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Line.
3:15 to go in the ball game. The Trojans need to put something together here.
You need to get Bishop going here. Give him a shot. There it is.
There it is. Big three near corner. Brady Bishop gets it to go.
9-point lead. 3 minutes go. Mitch, here we go.
It's Brendan Grindstaff crossing half court here. Gets it over to Brady Bishop. Bishop driving baseline. Floater off the glass. Timeout, head coach Brad Odom.
All right.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Browns. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
There's a trend happening around the educational world. More and more high school graduates are attending smaller community colleges to start their educational journey. At Marian University's Ancilla College, we welcome students from all walks of life. The opportunities at Marian University are endless, from living on campus to being a collegiate student-athlete. From day one, your professors will help you create a plan for a success at Marian and beyond. Find out more about Marian University's Ancilla College through our website at marian.edu/Ancilla today.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
The holiday season brings more to do and more to connect. Smart devices, computers, TVs, and gaming systems all online at once. With Surf Fiber Fast Internet, you'll have the power to do it all. Plans start as low as $30 a month with AutoPay and include perks like free installation and price lock for life. Surf Fiber Internet. Fiber fast internet with perks that never expire. Visit surfinternet.com. Restrictions apply. Not all speeds available in all areas.
Frayne Mortuary in Winamac is family-owned and operated with 3 locations serving Pulaski County and the surrounding communities. Frayne Mortuary has provided our community with caring and compassionate service for loved ones. Our licensed staff is available to assist you with pre-need funeral planning and at-need funeral planning. We provide traditional burial and cremation services. We offer a full line of headstones and monuments at Frayne Mortuary in Winamac. It's our family serving your family.
Now let's return to more of the Saturday Sports Line with WKVI Sports Director Mitch Columbi.
Well, now we have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Football for Indiana. It is Myles McLaughlin of the Knox Redskins. Man, Myles, it's been an honor to get to know you the last several years. I got to meet you your freshman year, and you had big goals. You were one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week right there in your freshman year. You were each year. Quite an honor that is. But the fact that you became Mr. Football, something that former athletic director Richard Warren had said you kind of mentioned to you. I saw that interview. It's pretty interesting, Myles, to look back. When you do look back, and now that you're here, what comes to mind?
You know, just a lot of work went into all this stuff. I mean, like you said, Richard said something about that, and he was helping me campaign for it all the way back to my freshman year. And it was a goal before then, but I just wanted to keep going with like the school stuff, get the school state championship. Didn't happen, but then also bringing the community's first Mr. Football back to the community. Knox, Stark County, I don't think Judson's ever had one, so it's really special.
Yeah, it is real special, and the fact that you had quite the career. You know, you hit the ground running starting your freshman year. I always remember that first game at Winamac, scoring that first touchdown, and he never looked back. And when you think about it, let's go way back, starting out when you're a young kid. The love of football really was instilled in you. You've kind of talked to me about that, but talk about really early on when you were a young kid, maybe in elementary school. What were you thinking at that time? I know you said you love football. We've asked you that question, but what were you thinking at that time, what you wanted to achieve in football? And talk about your dreams. I know a lot of it has come true.
Yeah, so like all the way back to when I was little, I know everyone has always told me about how my dad was, how good he was, and he had the rushing record here at the high school. So I always said I was going to break that record, and that was kind of just the main goal, was just to break that record.
Your dad's record.
Yes, sir. So I didn't know like if it was going to happen or when it was going to happen, but when the years kept going on, I was like, Dad, I'm going to break this.
And you did your sophomore year.
Yep.
Of course, I was talking to your dad, I want to say midway through the season. He said, well, if I got the ball a lot more, I would have had more rushing yards as well.
Yep.
It's kind of a little competition in the family.
He likes to cry about it.
But, I mean, your family is something special to you, and I know your mom and dad have been supporting you for a long time. Talk about the support system from them, but also your younger brothers. It looks like they look up to you, and you guys get along.
Oh, yeah. So, like, my parents, this was a lot this year. Like, everything that was going on, just, like, the national attention I was getting, and they were just always there for me, making sure I didn't get, like, big-headed or anything, but also just being there for, like, a support system, like you said, making sure I'm not, like, not getting depressed, but like not getting down on myself for what people are saying about me. And then my little brothers, yeah, I mean, I love those guys. Madden, the littlest one, he's gonna be really good at football, and
that's what I
hear.
All
that. Mason had that injury to his hip, but I think he's gonna come back next year and he can be good. He should be a wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He kind of gets me a little bit sometimes, but Madden, he's gonna be a stud.
You know, something else I find is interesting is you're a multi-sport athlete. You're not just one-dimensional. You've played basketball. You also played baseball throughout your high school career. Talk about being a multifaceted athlete. You know, we hear a lot of athletes these days just kind of sticking with one sport, preparing for that one sport, and that's all they do. But other athletes I've talked to, they say that helps grow the muscles in different parts of your body that you don't work out maybe if just doing one sport. So talk about maybe the success you've had from playing in other sports.
Yeah, I know everything that you do, like that I do basketball and baseball, and I did some track. It all works out those different parts of the muscles, and I feel like it helps me stay like injureless. Like I'm not getting injured. I've been pretty lucky with nothing bad. I've been beat up a little bit, but just the other sports like basketball, it's a lot of conditioning, gets you in better shape. Baseball helps with my arm strength and that type of stuff. But overall, I love all the sports, and I mean I wouldn't want to do it any other way.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I mean, there's so much to go over, and just for record purposes, I just wanted to go over everything. So bear with me. I know it's a lot, Myles, but you did a lot, so it's pretty crazy. You know, this season, your senior year, you had 4,846 rushing yards, which is the state and national record. That is a lot of yards in one season. I mean, are you wore out? I mean, I see you on the basketball court. You look just fine. I mean, that had to be tiring at times. You go home at night and a little sore.
Oh, for sure. I definitely was a little beat up by the end of the season, but honestly, I felt better than I did last football season, my junior season. I wasn't as beat up. My junior season, I got pretty beat up towards the end of the year, and it took me a while to get back into basketball, but this year was just more of a you get right back into it type of thing.
Yeah, career-wise, 11,839 rushing yards, which is the state's all-time rushing leader. You are. And then the nation's third all-time rushing leader. And, you know, we saw on social media Derrick Henry, who is the nation's leading rusher, he was giving you words of encouragement. Talk about that moment. That had to be pretty cool. And I know you told me behind the scenes he even messaged you personally.
Yeah, no, that was really awesome. I mean, him and Gronkowski actually, too.
Rob, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. But, you know, just like, it's crazy to think about. I feel like nothing has set in still. Like I'm still just taking it all in. It's kind of what when football season ended. I went out deer hunting and I kind of just sat there and I took it all in. It's still, I don't know if it'll set in for a while.
You got a big buck too, I saw. I mean, you just the weekend after the game, you're out hunting and collecting your thoughts. That must have been is that a peaceful moment for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I hunted that deer for about 2 months. So
really?
It was a long work, but it was awesome to have that done. And, I mean, it was just great.
Yeah, you're always on the go. It seems like you're not someone that likes to lay around and sit still. You always have something on your mind, a project maybe at home or working on sports. Where's that come from?
Probably my mom.
Really?
She doesn't like to sit still.
She's a busybody?
Yeah, she's always trying to get me to do some work around the house.
Well, go ahead and tell us your parents' names.
Josh and Suzanne McLaughlin.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been great to get to know your dad over the years. I think I've met your mom once or twice, but just really awesome. The family is a strong family, you can tell. But we still look at the what all you did career-wise. You know, you had 15 total interceptions defensively, and that's something that I always talked about on the air was, yes, he is doing amazing things on offense, but he is also playing on the other side of the ball, and I think a lot of people online that have a lot to say, they're not thinking about everything that's going on. You're almost out there every play.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't realize what all goes on when you're playing 3A small-town football. I mean, everyone's playing on the field. Like, I know, like, Jake did the same thing I did his seniors. I'm kicking the ball. I'm returning the ball. I'm playing offense, defense. That's what a lot of people don't see, the ones that think they know football on their little behind the screens on Facebook or whatever. But, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, there is. And I know you mentioned Jake Conroy graduated a year ahead of you. Graduated last year, and you guys were really good friends and still are, I assume, but he went on to play at Wabash. Talk about having someone like Jake Conroy throughout your high school career. It seems like you and him really bounced off each other quite a bit and made each other better.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people, when they have someone that's in the same position as them, they're going to get jealous and stuff. There was no jealousy between us. We always pushed each other. We still do. I mean, we worked out all summer before he went to college, and it just always a little competition, but there's no hate towards it. We love each other like brothers, and it was great. It was great to have him.
Yeah, we see total yards, including both offense and defense, 13,072 yards. You do the math off your rushing yards. That's 1,233 yards on defense. Yep. I mean, that's incredible in itself, Myles.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
174 career touchdowns, which is Indiana's touchdown record, number 2 in the nation. 71 total touchdowns in a single season. That is Indiana. That is Indiana's leader, also the nation's leader. So, I mean, 71 touchdowns this season, Myles. I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was pretty painful sometimes. I'm not going to lie.
But, I mean, you did a good job. And every time you attacked, I felt like you never wavered. You went straight into the fray. And what I mean by that is you didn't let the thought of someone getting to you bother you. You wanted to run through them and keep going and prove to yourself, prove to the community, and prove to the other team that, hey, you're the real deal. That mentality in itself takes a strong-willed person.
Yeah, there was just a lot of stuff that went into that. I mean, I had to have had the best, energy ever, that I've ever had in my entire sports career. I really, didn't even work on my conditioning that much going into football season. And I took a lot of carries this year, more than I had 200 or so more carries than I did any other year. So
wow.
It was a lot on my body, but I enjoyed it and I embraced it. And it was just always a good time.
Yeah, defensively, you had 200 total tackles, a career record, 44 wins and 10 losses. You only lost 3 home games through your high school career. That was freshman year. And then Indiana's most points scored in a game. That's the record at 62 points scored in a game. Talk about that game.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a get-back game from the year before. My girlfriend goes to that school.
Culver Academies?
They beat us by 1 point the year before. I mean, I was ready to play for sure.
That was week 3, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was a big win, and you kind of let them know, hey, last year's behind us, and this year's the real deal. And then to do it against the Academy, they are historically, they're a good program. They get good athletes, so that had to make you feel good. And then Indiana's most points scored in a season, 496 points this year. I know you're still reflecting, and you've said it's kind of hard to think about it and let it sink in. But when you're told that you're just 4 points shy of 500 points scored in a single season, Myles, I mean, what's that make you think?
It was just, like I said, again, it's just so much work that we put in, from like June all the way till November, basically, and you start it all over again. I'm already getting ready to go for college football next year. Like,
wow,
it's just a lot of work.
Highest rush average in Indiana with 346.1 yards per game. You're getting the ball. The other team knows you're getting the ball. You're playing defense as well. That in itself is another, I think, strong. It's a tip of the cap to the fact that how strong you are mentally, because the other team knows it's coming to you, and the other team knows that you're coming at them. But you still average 346.1 yards per game. When you're doing this in the game, what are some of the other athletes on the other team? I saw several when you broke the state's all-time rushing record. Someone on the other team had shook your hand. I mean, at some point, it looked like some of the other teams were just like, hey, you got to respect this guy.
Yeah, no, like a lot of people would talk before, like talk to talk or whatever, but when you get punched in the mouth a lot and it's over and over and you can't stop it, I mean, eventually you're just like, oh, there
this
you go.
guy's real.
But a lot of it was my teammates too. Like, obviously the O-line and Kane and Keegan and all those guys that blocked for me. I mean, I couldn't do it without them. I mean, shout out to those guys because they put in a ton of work too. Honestly, the O-line probably worked harder than everybody else on the team every single day. So, I mean, Coach Russ had them working every single day.
Yeah, another record we wanted to mention, most points scored in a career. That's Indiana's record with 1,214 total career points scored. And it happened in Knox, Indiana. And I think that's something a lot of people need to understand. This is a small community, and this is a community that everyone has each other's backs. Everyone knows each other. And talk about that. I mean, you know, if we were in a big city in Indianapolis or maybe South Bend, you know, it maybe fall, maybe not on deaf ears, but it definitely means a little bit more to this community, I feel like. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. This community is great. I mean, even the Judson people coming, there's OD. I saw they posted something when we were both in the sectional round or whatever about congratulations to Knox and Judson or whatever. But, you know, they're great. Everyone's great people around here. And even when Judson lost, they were at our game the next week. It's great to have great people.
Yeah, and I wanted to go ahead and let you talk to the community. Go ahead. What is your message to the fans in the area that have been supportive of you? A lot of people backing you up, wishing you well, and congratulating you on all these accomplishments. And then this newest one, to be Mr. Football in Indiana for 2025. What would be your message to the community?
Well, thank you guys for everything, obviously, and thanks for coming out every Friday and supporting my team and I. It really meant a lot to us. But, you know, even everybody, like just the Judson people too, like I said, and the OD people, I mean, everyone was always supportive of each other, no matter what it was. Even the Knox-Judson game. I mean, we beat Judson this year. They beat us the last year. I mean, everyone comes together at the end of the day, and most of us are family. So we really appreciate them, and I just couldn't thank them enough.
You got to play for Indiana's second all-time winningest high school football head coach in Russ Radke. We've talked about him multiple times with you. That's a special relationship, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love Coach Russ, and I love the staff, too. Julio, Bo, Tyler, all those guys. I mean, they all mean a lot. Coach Joe, he's new to the staff, but he's great, too. I had him as my basketball coach. But, you know, me and Coach Russ, he had a lot of good things to say about me, obviously, when it was all over. But that relationship that we had, I knew I could say something to him, and it wouldn't be, like, disrespectful. He knew what I was getting at, and he'd get on me too, and I knew what he was doing. He would yell at me, but I knew that it wasn't meaning to be like that. It's just the way he comes out. And I just really appreciate the relationship I've had with him, and I hope to maybe come back sometime and see him soon.
Yeah, we talk about coming into this season. You know, was this a goal of yours to break Indiana's all-time rushing record? I mean, we can talk about it now that the season's over. Was this something in the back of your mind, or you just say, hey, Coach, whatever you need, I'm going to do what you need?
That's basically, I mean, whatever the team needed to win, basically. But, I mean, I knew I was getting closer to the rushing record, but I honestly thought I'd finish second in Indiana, and I ended up finishing third in the U.S. So, I mean, it was just crazy. I'm not going to lie.
What was, if you don't mind, you don't have to divulge too much, but what did Derrick Henry and Rob Gronkowski message you?
So they were basically just saying just to keep going, don't let all this noise get to your head, and I mean, they saw what a lot of people didn't see in me, like how my footwork was, stuff like people that know football, they realize who's good and who's just mid, I guess.
Right,
but
yeah.
But they realized that I was good when a lot of people didn't really realize, and they were talking crap.
Yeah, well, and that happens. That happens in sports, and but you handled it with such grace. You handled it with such class, and I think that speaks volumes for your character as well, Myles. I mean, really, it does stand out. It's easy to sit behind a screen and type things, but the fact that you handled it with such class, I think that speaks volumes of your character again. But let's talk about it. You're going to the next level. Why Murray State?
Just the coaches and the place. I mean, there's a lot of great people there. Coach Wright, the head coach there, he's on his second year. When I get there, it'll be his third year. He's coached at South Carolina. He's coached at Alabama when Derrick Henry was there. He's a player personnel guy. Coach Ogle, my running back coach, he was at Jacksonville State. He beat Auburn at Auburn one night. He almost beat Florida State one night. They know the game of football. They're great people, great coaches, and just the town. It's a small town like this, kind of probably closer to Valpo or Plymouth, but it's just a small town, and I kind of look forward to getting there and learning everything about that place.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You'll have to be a freshman all over again.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. But do you expect to be a role in your first year? I'm sure down the road you hope to be one of the main guys on that team.
For sure, I think I can go in there and prove myself. That's what I'm going to have to do is prove myself.
Do you know what position that they're going to have you play?
I'll be a running back.
So they are going to have you as a running back, which I know that's something you wanted to do.
So I'm going to have to go in there, obviously, and I'll be down there June 1st right away.
Wow.
I have to come back for graduation, and I'll just have to prove myself. I'm going to take a class in the summertime. I'm just really excited. I mean,
I guarantee
we're going to Oklahoma State next year. Hopefully I make the travel team for that, but they're going to Oklahoma State. We're playing at Middle Tennessee State. So there's some big games in there that I'm excited to experience. So it should be fun.
Yeah, something interesting. Your rival here in high school is North Judson-San Pierre, which their colors are blue and gold.
I've heard
Murray State, it's a little blue and yellow, right?
Yeah,
so it's close. You're going from red and white to blue. And we'll see how you look in blue and yellow here, Myles.
I guess. I don't know if I like it yet. We're going to have to find out.
I wanted to also bring up the offensive line, all these guys that helped you up front, and you always were quick to let them know how much you appreciated them. And when you watch those highlights back, you see the work that they're putting in when they're set up at the line in the direction you need to go and giving you those holes. I'll give you the moment to name some names and talk about guys that you really appreciate over your career here at Knox.
Yeah, obviously, like every O-lineman that I've ever played with, 4 different O-lines. So, like, my freshman year was Keaton Foast, Landon Howard. Gosh, it's been so long.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
James McNeil, Eric Griffo, Alex Walkle, all those guys. Coma's my quarterback, because I'm still great friends with all these guys. Keaton saved me out of the ditch the other day. So, but then my sophomore year, Landon Howard again, Hayden Smith, Noah Bolin.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of. There's so many people, but Isaiah Jones, another big guy, Caleb Schwant. Then obviously my senior year and junior year, Noah Bolin again. Now we got Nigel Thompson, Gage Craig moving in the guard. There's so many people.
Tucker Burns,
yeah, Keeson Dixon, those guys that I've been playing with my entire life. But it's just so many people that helped me get to where I'm at today, and I still thank them every single time I see him. Like I saw Tucker in the hall. He got his first offer the other day to play football.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's awesome. See other people doing great things is awesome too. So
yeah,
I'm glad that my teammates get their love. They got their love, and I tried giving them as much love as I could, and I know everyone else did too, because I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, and I know this senior year, Kane Weber was someone that was big for you, blocking right beside you or right up on the line, and helped lead the way for you as well.
Yeah, definitely one of my best friends. We're in basketball together, sticking it out strong, but play baseball together too. We've been best friends. We've been really good friends for a long time. So I've got a good relationship with Kane, kind of like I do with Jake, and it was just a fun year overall.
What would be your message to other athletes as we wrap this interview up? What would be your message to other athletes that may be watching this or listening to this, I should say, in hopes that they have a career? Maybe kids in elementary, maybe middle school, maybe just getting to high school, and they want to make an impression on their coaches, on their community, on the state, at the national level. What would be your message in hopes that they are able to succeed in their life as well?
You just have to be tough, mentally tough. Obviously, you have to be strong, like really strong. Get in the weight room right away. you just got to prove yourself to all the coaches and never have a bad attitude about it. When you get yelled at, you take it like a man, and just keep going.
You mentioned being pulled out of a ditch, man. It was a pretty scary situation for you last week in a little bit of an accident, it sounds like.
Yeah, it took a big tumble right into a big ditch, but I made it out good, thank God.
Thank God, yes.
But yeah, no, it was definitely... It wasn't as bad as a 50-carry football game, though. I woke up the next day and I felt fine. Thank God, but I felt good.
Well, good, Myles. Man, I'll be honest with you. When I moved up here, I didn't really know much about football. Of course, I grew up watching Peyton Manning and the Colts in Central Indiana. But coming up here and being able to call your games, I would have never thought I'd get to call games for the second all-time winningest coach in Russ Radke, and then to be able to call Indiana's Mr. Football games. That's a feather in my cap as well, Myles. So I appreciate everything you've been able to do, and I appreciate your time as always. It means a lot, and messaging back and forth over the years. So it's been great to know you, Myles. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate it.
All right, that is Myles McLaughlin, Mr. Football in Indiana here in 2025. We congratulate him. We're going to take a break and come back. More sports talk after this.
I've been walking in the same way
as Cohen Watson from shotgun takes the snap and hands off. That's Myles McLaughlin up the middle, and he breaks away again. He crosses the 50-yard line to the 40, to the 35, 30, and he's tackled. Wow, big-time play by the freshman Myles McLaughlin as it took two Lakers to bring him down. Ball spotted on the Lakers' 30-yard line. This Knox Redskin offense just doesn't have any quit in them.
I ain't lost, just wondering. Round my hometown, memories of phrase. Round my hometown, ooh, the people I've made.
4th and 6, here we go for the Redskins. It's Myles McLaughlin from shotgun. Takes the snap, steps back, looks to throw. Here come the Falcons. He's going to have to roll out to his left. Fires deep past the Jake Conroy, and he's wide open. Touchdown, Redskins. Thimble from shotgun sets his man in motion. Takes a snap, steps back, fires immediately. Intercepted by the Redskins. Myles McLaughlin skied high, and he comes up with the interception, and he's pumped up too. Let's go. McLaughlin out of the gun. A lot of men up front here, baby. Takes the snap. Old school football up the left to the 40. Still on his feet to the 35. Breaks away to the 30, to the 25. Inside of the 20. Skips past the Lion. Inside, cuts up. Touchdown, Redskins! Myles McLaughlin!
From my hometown, memories are fresh. From my hometown, ooh, the people I've met, yeah.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
Fiber internet plans start as low as $30 a month with AutoPay when you switch to Surf. The holidays means more guests, more devices, and more reasons to get blazing fast fiber internet. With Surf, you get all the speed you need, plus perks that never expire. Free installation, no contracts, unlimited data, and price lock for life. Surf Fiber Internet, local service with perks that never expire. Visit surfinternet.com. Restrictions apply. Not all speeds available in all areas.
You're listening to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Rebounded by Jason Blackbird to Dirk Huff. Here comes Huff, crossing half court. Dirk has it between his legs. Little Hezzy goes baseline. Here comes the help from Radke. Picks up his dribble. Nice fine dump off the Casey Cook. Off the glass, baby. 33-19. Jays lead. 4:24 to go in the third.
And we welcome you back to the Saturday Sports Line. Man, what a great interview there with Myles McLaughlin, Indiana's Mr. Football. If you want to listen to that interview back, of course, we have the replay tomorrow night, but I also will be uploading a full video that I recorded of that interview with Myles. I'll get that on YouTube and X as well as Facebook here later this afternoon. It's a really good interview. Man, we wanted to sit down and talk with Myles a little longer than maybe the bigwig, or so they say, bigwig media personnel. But we wanted to give him a chance to talk about the great career that Myles had, so wanted to congratulate him. And then also, while we didn't know that at the time of the interview, yesterday the news came out he is on the first team. I mean, this is crazy, Chris. I mean, the All-American first team, that's incredible for Myles. So congratulations once again to him.
Yeah, just a really nice topper on everything that he's been able to accomplish. Just to button up that career here at Knox as Mr. Football. And I tell you what, I think that had that gone to anybody else, I think there might have been a mutiny. But again, just a great career, and wish him the best at Murray State.
Well, we transition to talk Winamac Lady Warrior basketball with head coach Tony Stesiak. The Lady Warriors are 9-2 right now, coming off a big win on the 13th in the Berry Bowl at Logansport, 48-23. Excuse me, Coach. These Lady Warriors are proven to be someone to be taken serious in the HNAC.
All right. Well, let's not transition quick. If you allow me a minute,
okay.
Let's talk about Myles.
Yeah,
as an outsider, as a coach. Every interaction I've seen, heard, everything, just the All-American kid. He's
right.
First team All-American. He's an All-American kid. And like I told you when I came in, his comments about playing multiple sports, I wish that's on a loop, that you guys play every commercial break year round, that coaches and players and parents more specifically get that. The greats get it. And he's an all-time great, and, we've been blessed in our area. You got Jack Kaiser, Mr. Football, plays at Notre Dame, Myles McLaughlin, Mr. Football. That's powerful for kids to say, this can happen to us. Now, you have to fix that with, that doesn't mean you sit on your couch, play video games, and, Myles can be Mr. Football, we can do it. You got to put in the special work, but as a Warrior, but as just a fan of good sports, good people, good stories, I just want to tip my hat to Myles, and just truly a great honor and a great role model for people. And I just wanted to say that because we're in this for life lessons, and how can you be the best version of yourself? And Myles McLaughlin shows you you put in the work, you put in the time, and you also play other sports, and you can still be an All-American.
Yeah.
Plays 3 sports, All-American football. God bless him.
He
that's
has
America.
over 800 career points in basketball, so he could get 1,000 career points in basketball this season. So just like you said, an all-around All-American, All-American kid.
Yeah. So just tip of the hat to that. So we can talk Lady Warrior basketball now.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're 9-2, Coach.
Thanks for allowing me.
That's all right.
9-2, Coach, and you're starting to put the HNAC on notice. Hey, when you play the Winamac Lady Warriors, we're going to play you tough.
Yeah. We're not super concerned with the record, and this is coach speak, but it's true. We live it. Be 1-0 today. Win the day.
Right.
Don't get too far ahead, too far behind, whatever. Be the best version of yourself today. Try to find a way to win that game and get better. And if you win, you learn. If you lose, you learn. But let's just keep moving that thing forward. And we've been able to do that. But all our bigger challenges are still ahead of us. The toughest part of our schedule, championships, tournaments, all those kinds of things are still way ahead of us. The schedule's prepared us to this point, but looking back last Saturday as we talk, going to the Berry Bowl, as someone who appreciates basketball history but was never able to coach so far to this point in my career to coach in the Berry Bowl, and for the juniors, because next year the game will be at Winamac, for the juniors and seniors to be able to play there. I don't know if kids really appreciate history like they used to, but for them to be able to play there, I think was important. So it was a slog. It was a Saturday afternoon game. The weather wasn't great. I was on everybody's mind as well. Logansport kept the game close for a while, but then we were able to kind of get out and do what we do, and pretty balanced scoring. Nobody had more than 13 points. I think we had 3 in doubles and another one at 7, and freshmen scored. So it was a good effort. And then, just moving forward on schedules, we've had all this week off, which is important because it's finals week.
Right.
And I've known coaching girls for a long time. Girls take that way more seriously than the boys do. So to not have a game, we've been able to adjust the schedule, like shorten practice a little bit. We were able to take Wednesday off because our finals were Thursday and Friday. So get a little mental reset, recovery. So, we've not been fully healthy, and we still aren't. We've not been fully healthy for a calendar month. And we've had some different things, to have everybody available on our roster. It's been a calendar month, and we're still not quite there yet. So it's been a good week to kind of move the ball that way a little bit and get healthy. But business is about to pick up tonight. That's for sure.
But I did want to go back first.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, go ahead.
But 2 weeks ago, we were preparing for Tri-County, where you traveled to Tri-County, and that was one of the tough 2 losses that you've had to take, but it was a close one, 57-53. So talk about that night on December 6th. Sorry to rewind on you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys learned something in that game.
We did. It was, again, a Saturday game. Never been there.
Did you see the windmills?
Yes,
Isn't it
and you're
creepy?
right, especially leaving.
At night.
Well, I wasn't in the best of moods leaving town, but the other
town, you mean
whatever,
middle of nowhere,
there is. Right. But when the other team shoots 33 free throws, we've not given up that many free throws in a long time, and that was just a frustrating game. We were down 12 in the second half, made a run, cut it to 2 with a couple minutes to go, so we're right there. And then a couple calls didn't go our way. And then, I think, was it 4 or 5 point loss? It was a close loss. We did not play our best. Tri-County was good that night, and we still had our chance to win. We talked off air about the Culver game too. Same thing. We didn't play our best. Culver played really well. Both of those games, Tri-County and Culver, they played a little bit better than us, but we fought back and gave ourselves in both games a chance to win when we didn't have our best, which said a lot for us too. So we've learned from those, and I think we became better as a result. Sometimes you squeak out a win when you don't play well. You kind of get away with some stuff because you got the win. And as much as a coach, you're like, hey, we got things to work on. It's like, coach, we won. But when you come up short on the scoreboard, then you get a little bit more attention. So we learned a lot from those 2 games, and I think they've made us better. And as we've had, going into those next couple games of Argus and Logansport, not the toughest teams on our schedule, but we approached it the right way. At this point of the year, that's what you're about. You kind of who you are at this point of the season. When you have teams that you're better than, can you honor the game, play it the right way, take care of your business? And against both Argus and Logansport, we're able to do that. And we're able to work on some different lineups, different X's and O's things. Get some experience for those freshmen off the bench, which has been good. Croft, Pope, Joy, Iverson, Keller, those 4 just continue to be really good leaders and help those freshmen around, but also, doing the things that they need to do, whether it's, Keller leading us a little bit defensively, Iverson on the post, rebounding, scoring inside, Croft and Pope, Joy just doing what they do, whether it's driving, dishing, shooting, having those 2 be able to do it all has been pretty helpful, obviously. But as I said, business is about to pick up starting tonight.
Yeah. You go to another Saturday travel to Rensselaer.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're maybe in one poll ranked top in Class 2A or second in Class 2A. The state runner-up from last year. So what do you know about the Lady Bombers?
Really good. Coach Radke, Captain Obvious. Coach Radke's been there a while, and I've known him from way back in the Oregon Davis assistant days, and a lot of that same kinds of concepts and how they played then under Coach Minix, he's brought with him, but now with larger bodies and more kids to choose from.
Right.
So it's been pretty powerful, been very successful in his own way. And that was following them last year. I knew when we played them, that was a run that was going to happen. I told him, you got all the pieces to make a run, and weren't able to quite finish it. But there's no shame in making it down to Indy. And Camry Rowland's back for him. Matthew, there's questions. She has missed the last couple games. I'm not sure what her status is, but she's a 5'10" junior point guard that's got Division I offers. I'm not sure what her status is for availability for tonight. But even without her, they've been able to win a couple games against Delphi and Maryville Andrean here this week. They're really good. Coach's daughter is also really good, and they were used to success, and they're used to their style of play. And he's got it at a point now where they don't change how they play. They just change the faces, and it's how they're going. And they're physical, they're aggressive, they're relentless, and this is exactly what we need to see. And as I told the girls this morning when we came in, you've just taken finals. This is our midterm. Right, we've got 11 games in. I think you play 22, so it truly is a midterm. Regardless, however it goes, if we win, doesn't end the season, doesn't mean we got everything figured out and we can stop practicing. If we're not fortunate to come up on the right end scoreboard, doesn't mean the season's over. It's not a season ender. This is it's coach speak again, true measuring stick. Like how good
in my mind, I was just measuring stick was in it, but just
and
rolling
you
mentioned,
around. In 2A, Bremen's there in our sectional, and they're undefeated. And this is the team that's a lot like that. Maybe not the same X's and O's, Y's, or style, but in terms of caliber of competition, all right. Here on December, was it 20th today? 20th. Yep. Where are we at in relationship to where we need to be in the sectional for a team like Bremen? So whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to go back to work and we're going to figure it out. If we're not 1-0 today, or we're 1-0 today, however that works out, we're going to try to find a way to learn from it, be better, and keep moving towards that goal. We got HNAC, as you said, still up for grabs. I think it's still anybody's race.
Yep. Judson beat Culver the other night.
Yeah, that's obviously helpful. Triton's 2-0, but 2 games is not. And one of those was a win against Argus. North Miami has been injury plagued. Their best guard has been out, so they lost to Triton. But, if they get her back, they're a whole different team, and that's just one loss. So, everybody still has aspirations, and rightly so, of a conference championship. So there's a lot to be decided there, and those will be decided that first week. So we're in the midst of, what is it, a 7 or 9 game road trip. We don't play again at home till January 17th. We talked about that. And then, from tonight,
Kitchen Classic,
from tonight until January 9th, which is when we play North Miami, we'll play 7 games.
Yeah.
So this week was a good stretch, but we'll find out a lot about us and all our goals in terms of Kitchen Classic, as you said,
which you've been doing well at the last few years.
Yeah, we've been doing well, and there's a really good Rossville team that I think has one loss that could very well be a semifinal opponent. We played them last year in the semifinals. We both have a lot of players back. That was a close game as well. So we've got an opportunity to play some really great competition here starting tonight. And like you said, find out a lot about, and whether we like the answer or not, we got time to work on it. Not a lot coming out of Christmas, but we got time. So I like where we're at mentally. If I'm asking the big guy up north, Santa Claus,
right?
my Christmas list wish would be, I want this team to be healthy. I want to see where we're at. Like we've talked last year. Right. We know where that was. Last year, ton of respect from those kids. I wouldn't wish that on any coach, but I want to get healthy and see where this team can be with a full deck.
Yeah.
One final question before we let you go, and this is...
Are you kicking him out already?
Yikes.
Well,
we just got here.
We've been interviewing him for... I don't know how
that was 15 minutes? I guess
Pretty
you're right.
close.
Wow. Sorry, Coach. I didn't even realize.
No, but
it's Chris's world. It's Chris's world.
Hey, I'm in charge. This ought to be the McGowan and Columbia.
Like 5 minutes.
This ought to be the McGowan and Columbia show, just so you know.
Hey, I'll switch you quick. I'll switch you real quick, Coach. I'll just show up and everything will be set up for me.
What I wanted to ask you, as a former coach, I used to always love, when you're a little bit of an underdog,
yeah,
going on the road. I was able to use that as extra motivation. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, it's the old us against the world mentality, right?
Yeah.
You're hopping on a bus, you're going through, you're together, you're going into somebody else's gym. Like those are special. Like we've had a few
hostile
of those.
Environment.
Had a few of those moments through the years. I love being the underdog. It's great. As a coach, like I want to find out how good we are too.
Right.
Like I don't always enjoy the Arguses and the Logansports and the North Newtons and those.
Right.
All due respect to those kids and coaches, they're playing hard, but you get to a spot in a game where you're a lot better and you're kind of managing you want to find out how good you really are. Like we've handled our business for the most part. Let's see where we're at, and I love it. like I said, good, bad, or indifferent. Like, I want to find out. Like, let's go. Let's strap it up tonight. And let's see where we're at. And I love it, and especially like you said, going on the road, like just sneaking in on the bus in the dark winter days of a Saturday night.
They're thinking of Christmas too.
Yes, we've not been competitive with them in a few years, so
this could be a moment.
Good. They'll be really good. We'll see. We'll see.
You've got your game tonight, but then your last game of the year is at Rochester. How do you handle practices through the Christmas break?
So. That was obviously a makeup from Thanksgiving weekend. So we had already planned on practicing Monday and Tuesday and then take off the 24th, 25th, 26th. So that doesn't change. We'll practice Monday morning, Tuesday morning, go play Tuesday night. Still got 3 days off. Come back, practice the 27th, which is a Saturday. I always like to do a senior-led practice in the holiday, kind of break up the holiday practices. So pick a day, seniors, you're in charge of practice entirely. It's your practice plan. You got it. Okay. And as a coach, you're like, all right.
11, man.
Golly. Yeah. Hey, when you only have 11?
Right. We did it with 9.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Be creative. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a good time. That's a good time to let them, especially your seniors. It's a good culture vibe check.
Right.
Like, what are we working on? Yeah. What are we working on?
Are you wanting to?
Yeah. I trust this group, and it, when you want them to have fun, but I say it's your practice. Let's get better. Like, that's the only thing. Let's get better. Like, and then obviously then a Sunday, and then coming back. Unfortunately, they changed the Kitchen Classic format. We were supposed to have a home game with Frankfurt because that's part of the original idea.
Now you're going there?
Right, but they moved everything to Delphi.
So you're playing at Delphi.
Yeah, and they split up the tournament. So the boys play like December 28th and 29th at Delphi. It's all there. The girls, they moved, not to my knowledge or not to my liking, January 2nd and 3rd. So we get to go to Delphi at 10 a.m. on January 2nd, play Frankfurt. Win that, like I mentioned, Rossville, probably play Rossville in the semifinals at 5 o'clock. So you hang around and play a 5 o'clock game. And then you come back on the 3rd and play for places, right? So 3 games in 2 days. The idea of this tournament early on was to play everything before Christmas, which I loved. Like, play tournament before Christmas. It got done before Christmas. Then between Christmas and New Year's, because here's the other thing, too, and let me get on a soapbox for a minute with the IHSA and girls basketball. Because of where the schedule is, our volleyball players and the volleyball players across the state, you're basically jumping from one sport to another. And basketball players, you give up fall break for the most part, right? Because, we practice after that. This year, where school schedule, we came back from fall break, school started, practice was that day. But your fall sport athletes are still playing and practicing in the tournament series for those sports. So you're asking kids to come back, essentially give up fall break for their fall sport / winter sport, whatever. And then Thanksgiving break, right? You're playing games or whatever. Christmas break, you've got that. Like, you're asking those kids in girls basketball to give up a lot. So, I love the idea about doing nothing between Christmas and New Year's. So we might practice a couple of days, but let's give them that opportunity. We want more girls to play winter sports. Let's look at the calendar, IHSA.
Yeah.
Let's do something with that.
Right.
But that's my 2 cents. They've not called and asked me for anything.
They won't.
No, you hear from them.
Comment card.
You hear from them when the referees don't agree with you in basketball games. They'll let you know that. But
funny how that works.
Yeah, but I don't. They're not taking any input.
They don't like us either. So
we have to do the best we can, right, to try to honor the kids and respect their time and family time too. Like, we all need that charge. Now, it's also different. It used to be the sectional back in when we coached.
Right.
Second week of February. When you came up for Christmas, like, hey, it's 6 weeks. Now it's like, hey, when we come back from, when we celebrate New Year's Day, at the end of the month, you're playing sectional games.
Right.
Yep.
Like, your season could be over before the calendar turns to February now. Yeah. So it's a sprint
to the finish.
It's crazy. Like,
yeah, there are so many things that I think the IHSAA needs to look at. The year-round stuff now that we can do, I think has hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's caused kids to, we talked about Myles saying play multiple sports, but now it's caused kids to, hey, I can work on this now all year round, so I'm only going to do the one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I'm with you.
Right.
We could do a whole 2-hour show just talking about that kind of stuff, but We're already at the top of the hour, dude.
We're going into OT, baby. It's overtime. Coach, I appreciate your time.
I'll take overtime tonight.
I know, right? Yeah.
It'll be overtime tonight.
At Rensselaer Central.
You say we're going to overtime tonight? I'll take it. Take it.
Tips at 7:30. Warrior Nation better be there. Coach,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to your family.
One thing real quick, same thing too. Speaking of Merry Christmas, tonight, if you're a Warrior fan and you're going to Rensselaer, they are doing a Toys for Tots drive. So any person that comes to the game brings a new unwrapped toy gets in free. So, you know, if you got a few extra presents under the tree or you stop and pick one up, help those less fortunate than we are. We always talk about that as a team.
That's a cool idea.
We got some presents we're going to take, help less fortunate and have a bigger picture in mind. Use sports to make a big difference.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity for everybody to pitch in. So that, and I also wanted to put a quick plug in because I know it'll be a while before we come back on.
Sure.
Our game with North Judson is, I don't know if I talked about this before, but it's the Pink Out Cancer game every year from now on.
On the 22nd of January.
Yeah. So, and I've talked to Coach Combs, and we've both agreed that when North Judson and Winamac girls play, it's a Pink Out Cancer fundraiser.
Very
game.
cool.
So, more details on that coming in January, but just want to put that on everybody's radar. Both teams will be wearing some types of pink jerseys. We'll raise money. Both teams are in competition to see who can raise the most money, and that dollar amount will be raised. We're calling it Rivals United for a Cure.
Nice.
Cool. So again, using basketball, using the rivalry to make a big difference. So Pink Out Cancer game, North Judson against Winamac. What'd you say, January what?
January 22nd.
Put that on your calendars. And
at Winamac.
Yeah, at Winamac this year. So just want to wish you guys both Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Appreciate all you do for all sports. It's amazing the things that you guys do, and I appreciate it, and want to wish everybody out in Warriorland and everywhere else Merry, blessed Christmas, and I'm just honored to be a small part of this. So thanks, guys.
No, appreciate you too, Coach. All right, that is head coach of the Winamac Lady Warriors. It is Tony Stesiak. The Warriors are 9-2 right now, folks. Warrior Nation, you better get out there and support them tonight, going up against a good Rensselaer Central team on the road. Tip-off at 7:30 Eastern. We're going to the Where Are They Now segment up next with Harold Welter. We're going into overtime, Chris. Here we go. Taking a break. Don't go anywhere.
Radke, now he'll bring it forward, behind his back, crosses half court. Crossover, goes inside, finds the space off the glass. Eli Radke, and he's showing Blue Jay Nation he's back and feeling good. 3-ball, got it, splash. Brody Martin, oh baby, the freshman. Nice 3 from him.
Don't be afraid, I'm gonna prove every word I say. I'm advertising love for free.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
It's time now for Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of local high school sports coverage on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Now let's meet one of the local high school sports figures from more than 50 years of WKVI sports and find out where are they now?
Well, as we look back on more than 50 years of broadcasting high school sports in the Kankakee Valley here on WKVI, our guest is Eric Materna, a 2023 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School, and we call this segment, Where Are They Now? So, Eric, where are you now, and what are you doing?
I'm still running. I'm a junior at Marian University. Getting ready for my third year there at Marian, getting ready for the indoor season.
Well, of course, you set multiple records at North Judson-San Pierre High School as a runner, and now you've gone to Marian University, and you've set even more records. What events have you been involved in there at Marian?
Yeah, for the records, I currently have 5 records at Marian. In the indoor 400, the indoor 600, the indoor 4x4, the outdoor 400, and then the outdoor 4x4. So I've kind of ran a lot of different things. I'm also second on the list for the 200 outdoor and 7th indoor. So I run anywhere from basically the 200 to the 600, just depending on who qualifies for what and how I'm feeling that year.
So you have run a variety of events at the collegiate level. And I got to tell our listeners that you're a 5-time All-American. Now, Marion is an NAIA school, and you're a 7-time conference champion in that conference that Marion's in. 2-time national champion, and then you're in the top 100 in the entire country in the 600-meter. And I want to ask you, first of all, 2-time national champion, what events?
The 4x4 and then as a team.
And who are some of your teammates?
Some of my teammates are Elijah Givens, he's from Speedway, Richard Dube, he's from Perry Meridian, Oliver Lafrange, he's from Belgium, Rafe Miller, he's from Ben Davis. So some nice indie guys, and then we also get some internationals too.
That's amazing. 7-time conference champions in what events?
The 200, 400, 600, 4x4. I ran the DMR my freshman year indoor, so doubled up on some of those a couple times.
Oh my gosh! So you've had a lot of success there at Marion. Let me ask you this, Eric. You came out of North Judson-San Pierre High School, as I said. You'd set a lot of school records. What led you to Marion University? I'm sure you had some other opportunities.
Yeah, I went on roughly about 5 visits, a couple D1 schools, a couple D2, a couple D3, and then Marion was the only NAIA I visited. But it was basically just that it felt like a home, and it also felt like it could transform me the most. Looking at some of the guys who came in with similar times and seeing them drop down, I also wanted some competition, so I knew they had 2 basically like head honcho runners, like 2 really good runners in the 400 who I could battle with every day at practice. And looking at even the D1 schools, they really didn't have that competition and that drive that I wanted. I didn't want to come in and just be the top dog and nobody ever challenge me. I want to be challenged.
Right. And it's obviously worked.
Yeah.
Huh? Tell me about a typical day's schedule. If you're working in all these different events, and obviously you got to go to class, what is a typical day for Eric Materna at Marion University?
We'll just do a typical Monday this semester. So I wake up, normally eat probably around 8 or 9, eat some breakfast, normally an omelet. We got a nice omelet line at Marion, so I like that. And then I had class from 10 to 11:50. It was basically 2 classes, but that was all on Monday. I took 18 credit hours, which is 6 classes, but 1 was online, and then 3 classes Tuesday, Thursday. So then after those classes, I would normally eat lunch around 12:30-ish, and then I'd study or do some work until practice at 3:30, and then I know, he was the assistant coach of the year last year, so he is the best mid-distance coach in the nation. I call him Coach Mike. And so I really like the way he sets up practice. So we'll have 3 hard days throughout the week, and then the other 2 will be recovery. So Monday is one of those hard days, whether it's speed endurance, which is basically training at a lower amount of meters but at a faster pace, or over endurance, which is basically higher meters but lower reps and kind of that fitness, get in your lungs. And then the other one is normally like a block day, so working on your blocks, working on your fast mechanics and stuff like that.
18 credit hours?
Yeah, and I think that's the lowest I've taken.
My gosh.
Yeah.
What are you studying there at Marion?
I'm a double major in accounting and finance with a minor in communication.
So you got plenty to keep you busy in the classroom, let alone with all the track activity. And you do the spring track, but you also do the winter events as well, right?
We start our fall training in basically September 1st, and we train all the way through May 30th, pretty much. So it's a long season. That's roughly 8 months. And we don't really get a break. You get little breaks like spring break. You get a week off because that's right after nationals, so you really don't do anything. But even over Christmas break, we still have 6 workouts a week or 5 workouts a week. We just got to do them on our own.
Wow. And, of course, you're motivated to do them on your own because you could fall behind real quick with the other guys, right?
Yeah, definitely.
As you go back in to your high school career, What is the one meet or the one event that stands out in your mind more than any other here several years after you graduated?
The event that definitely stands out in my mind is still the 400. It was definitely like the funnest, but I was also the most nervous. And it just had so much competition at the high school level. I would probably say the one meet or race I remember was probably the regional one my junior year. That's when I won regionals with a 49.93. And then I got contacted by Marion the next week. So that was pretty nice. I still remember where I was. I was sitting on the couch, and my family was outside, so I hurried up and ran outside. But it was definitely the 400, and that was probably my favorite meet.
As you grew up there in the North Judson area, who are some of the people that were like your role models or people that helped you be so successful?
Definitely just my support group, I feel like, which is family, friends, and God. God played a huge role. He's, I believe he's one of the reasons he led me to Marion. I've grown my faith as a person and things of that sort. But some of my role models, I believe, were just some of my classmates. So like Kelson Jordan, Logan Radke. Those are two guys that come off the top of my head. We were just also like motivated and driven to not just perform good, but just keep getting better each and every day. And we just kept stacking days, and it just led to a kind of a lifestyle. Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of those teammates, you were fortunate because they were pretty darn good athletes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? Yeah, Kelson still should have came to Marion and long jumped, but he didn't.
Our guest is Eric Materna, a 2023 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School, and we'll continue our conversation after this timeout.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
We're talking with Eric Materna, a 2023 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School, who is now a junior at Marion University in Indianapolis. And we talked early on about the many medals and rings and plaques that you've received as a runner. But let me ask you this. What is the biggest part of running in college? What has it done for you in an area more than any other?
Probably my faith. So just recognizing and realizing that I'm just basically a chess piece for God to move around in whatever that may be. No matter if it's, a good race and everybody gets to say, "Oh, look what you done." I'm like, no, I really didn't do it. Like, yeah, I went out there and ran it, but it wasn't really me. It was really God, and it's really His glory. Or if that means, a bad race where everybody's like, "Oh, you're so good," but like, what happened? And just showing people that, like, it's trials and tribulations that you have to go through. So I like to be a role model for the freshmen and try to just be like a nice support guy for them, no matter if they run good or bad, no matter if they're happy or sad with what they ran. Just, it's a lot of highs and lows. So just dealing with that, it kind of relates to life a lot. So there's probably going to be a time in my life, I get fired from a job or the company closes down and you're left at a low, but then there's going to be a time where you get a promotion and you're in the high. So just dealing with those and not getting too worried about, am I high or low right now? Just keep staying steady.
You talk about being involved in a lot of different things in college, but what is the biggest part of for you? What did you gain most from being a high school athlete?
I think it goes back to that motivation and determination. Because in high school, a lot of the sport is fun. Go out there and have fun, they say. It's kind of the same in college, but it gets different. I'm running against Olympians. I'm wanting to go pro. I want to be at the Olympics. So, yeah, I can go out there and have fun, but I also have to kind of change my mindset and do things of that sort.
Finally, let me ask you, what advice would you give to young athletes out there who would aspire to have the kind of success in athletics that you have?
I would tell them just to stay consistent and find a good support group. So with the staying consistent, there's going to be days where it feels like you're going down or you're stagnant, but just keep stacking days, even if you're going up 0.1%. If you do that over a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to be 200 or 300% better than you were, and you're going to look back and you'll be like, oh, I mean, it wasn't really one big jump I had. That's kind of like with my story. It's like there wasn't one day where I just woke up faster. Like, it's not really how that works. So it's those 5 workouts a week where I slowly get better every day. And then with the support staff, I am a follower of God, so I would tell everybody, to get in His Word, read His Word every day, but also find good family and friends that'll be there for you. But you also need a couple people that will get on you when you're slacking off.
Eric, thanks so much for joining us and sharing your success story and your faith story with us today. And I look at all these medals and the rings that you have and all of those things, but I get the feeling that those are secondary to your faith, and we appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to interview.
There's Eric Materna, the 2023 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School. Join us again next week on the Saturday Sports Line for Where Are They Now?
Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of high school sports coverage on WKVI.
Join us each Saturday morning on WKVI for the Saturday Sports Line and worldwide on WKVI.com.
Time now for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, given in memory of Tyler Roth, a 2001 graduate of Winamac High School who died as a result of an auto accident 1 week after his high school graduation. His legacy of hard work, outstanding citizenship, artistic success, and super athletic performance lives on with this award given every week to outstanding student athletes from the 8 schools in the Kankakee Valley. Today's award is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac, and we'll tell you who's earned the Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week after this word from Web Printing.
Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack and signs of all kinds in Winamac is where all of your printing needs can be met. Whether it's paper, garments, or signs, Web Printing is your full-service printing solution. So if you're in need of embroidered or screen-printed garments, tickets or programs for your event, or documents for your business, Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack is the place to go. For the quickest service, best prices, and best quality, it's Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac.
Our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week for this week is Jay Huerta, a member of the basketball team at South Central High School. Jay is having another great year for the Satellites here in his senior season. He had 18 points against a very good Couts team. Last weekend against the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays, we saw the Satellites win, and in that win, Jay scored 19 points with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. This past Wednesday against Wheeler, he had 13 points. He is so close to scoring his 1,000th career point. We are anticipating it to happen here through the Christmas holiday break. Jay will receive a certificate, a history of the award, and a t-shirt commemorating his achievement, and will also be a future guest on the Saturday Sports Line. He will be eligible for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year award later this spring, which carries with it a plaque and a college scholarship, compliments of WKVI and the family of Tyler Roth. The Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac. I'll get with Mr. Huerta in the new year. As that wraps up our final Saturday Sports Line of the 2025 year. My goodness, we will be off next week and the following week to coincide with our area schools holiday break. Our next Saturday Sports Line will be January 10th. That's right here on 99.3 FM and WKVI.com, streaming throughout the world. I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and look forward to starting 2026 off with a bang. Until then, keep up to date on all of our social media sites, on Instagram at WKVI Sports, on X at KVB Sports, and on Facebook at Sports to the Max for all Kankakee Valley Broadcasting sports content. All right, we'll see you next year. I'm Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI, you've been listening to the Saturday Sports Line with Sports Director Mitch Columbi and Sports Analyst Chris McGowan.
One thing that I always hope for is a white Christmas. It just really reminds me of my childhood and being with the family. This is Mitch Columbi wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The spirit of Christmas lives every day right here on K99.3 WKVI.